certain goal for Zenith. And right now, instead of 2-1 Zenith, it is still 1-1 to neither team, really. At this point, I would say the spectators are winning the game. Noodle attempts to launch the ball towards the corner at least, but it did not look like his play worked out at all. J4 getting back into defensive mode as Matt attempts to bring it out. J4 reads it though and plays it off the wall twice. A miss by LaBoost, and Noodle makes him pay. 2-1 Zenith. 2:49 remaining. Game 1 of the best of 5 series. Play now. About to be back underway. And the ball attempts to get going. Doesn't get a great start. J4 attempting to take it away from his own goal will do fairly well and then pulls back. Matt hits it off the wall to avoid J4. Noodle waiting for him in goal, however. He will blow up Noodle, but it may not necessarily help him. Great play by LaBoost to try to tip the ball over. However, his teammate was not waiting for it at all. Matt will turn it and attempt to play it on the wall. Good shot here towards the far corner, hits the post, but J4 looked like he had it covered in case it was on goal. LaBoost uses LaBoost to get up in the air, and the ball comes off the sharp ceiling. J4 clearing it away before Matt can get a good shot in on goal. However, Noodle with a really poor hit back towards the net, and J4 has to bail him out in the end there. I would certainly say right now both these teams are undefeated still, which is why they are in the finals of the winners bracket. However, both
it's not surprising. It is impressive.
This is true, but I think we're seeing they both have weaknesses. One example here is J4 made an excellent play there, but LaBoost got caught out of the goal a bit, and the ball just went over his head and into the corner. 3-1 lead for Zenith. Obviously, indeed, but Sammy 2 hoping to still have a good chance. The ball's just sitting in midfield now, and it will be sent back towards J4 with an effort at least towards the goal. Tries to clear out LaBoost, but LaBoost holds his ground. Matt now sends it back towards the far corner, where J4 is waiting to send it right back towards the corner of Sammy 2. LaBoost and Matt combine there to get it out of their play, with the ball spending a lot of time on their half, and there is the fourth goal of the match. Noodle getting the better of both players there, one way or another. Chipped LaBoost, ended up chipping Matt, who may have been able to make a better defensive play, but at the end of the day he didn't, and the score is 4-1. We are down to just over a minute remaining in game 1. Right now looking like it's definitely going Zenith's way. However, a great ball inside by LaBoost that time, taking the punishment for his team, but also getting a great centering pass, which Matt couldn't help but tap into the wide open net. 4-2 now, just over a minute to go. Could we possibly see a comeback on this game? Or is that perhaps not as possible? LaBoost and Matt attempting to combine there for a good chance in shots, but it was just wide. They are continuing to at least give the Zenith team something to think about, but unfortunately Team Zenith is still very good, and Noodle makes sure it is now 5-2.
We are seeing quite a match.
We are, but we are also seeing a one-sided match right now. And game 2, Sammy 2 is to be hoping that is different. Ball slightly off the wall here. J4 looking to air dribble it slightly. Will do just that. The boost will get a nice clearance. Noodle played it back off the wall, however, and attacks well. And good save by Matt. And this game could become ugly if this scoreline keeps up. J4 another block. And Sammy 2 cannot get it off of their side now. Looks to be only a matter of time before Zenith puts another goal in. And J4 looks to be the one to do that. Good save by Matt. As the clock ticks down to what is right now looking like a merciful end for Sammy 2.
Zenith living up to their name and standing at the top.
Indeed. Going into game two, obviously we saw a more one-sided game that time. How do you think Sammy 2 needs to change their strategy to do better, perhaps?
Well, to put it in layman's terms, which are the only ones I understand about this game, maybe not let the ball on their side so much.
That would be wise, perhaps.
I have to be honest, the finer points escape me a bit. And honestly, these players are they're all really, really good.
Indeed.
There's very little bad play going on. Most of these mistakes are only being punished because all the players that we're seeing here are very, very good.
This is true. Play now back underway in game two of the Rocket League Winners Bracket Finals of the Taylor University Esports Rocket League Tournament. And Zenith looking to start a dominating start once again. The Boost hoping to change that a bit, but Noodle will be in the way of that. And Matt clears it out just in time. However, this is not a good look, and J4 makes them pay.
Will take it.
For not the first time this match, Sammy 2's team were caught out of defense. J4 made a nice play there to wait till the ball came back. Almost waited too long, but Labus could not get back in time. And an early one, I think, only 23 seconds in. Play resumes with the ball in the middle, and the ball is now back on where it's normally staying, Sammy 2's half. However, a miss by Noodle puts Matt in, and solid defending by J4 to make sure that's all it gets. The Boost tries the center back door and blows up Noodle, in fact, but unfortunately there's not a really good option right now for an attack for the Sammy 2 team. They seem to be kind of in limbo here. A midfield defensive game hoping to perhaps stop the attack of Zenith, but it does not seem to be working out very well. Noodle drives the ball back towards a corner that the ball and right now the players are well familiar with. Matt, however, clears it out towards the opposite corner in an attempt to perhaps rally his team. Labus plays it up in the air, tries to air dribble it into the net, and will do so.
Well played by Laboost there.
An excellent goal scored. It is surprising there that Noodle did not get up and try to defend that. Perhaps he was out of boost. Laboost obviously made sure he had plenty of Laboost.
Indeed.
As he continues to be an excellent player for his team overall. And right now he is looking like an excellent addition to the Taylor University Esports Rocket League roster, which he also is on. Cleared off the wall now. Laboost trying to get back to defend that, will do so well with J4 hot on his tail. Noodle in the back will be taken out. Matt, good opportunity here for a shot, and J4 stands his ground, takes the hit, and makes the save. Laboost trying to use the wall to his advantage here, will almost do so. J4 again waiting for him there. And an excellent play by J4 to get the ball forward. Laboost will now try to dribble the ball off the wall, absolutely annihilates Noodle in the corner, but can't quite get perhaps the best cross he wanted there. J4 takes the ball away from him. Matt intercepts the pass, and the ball now spending a lot more time on the other half. I would say for the first minute and a half of this game, it was certainly Zenith's game right now. Momentum looks to be with Sammy 2, as they are piling pressure at least onto Zenith. However, so far nothing to show for it, and J4 looking to break. Takes the ball into Zenith's corner, blocked out once. Noodle, however, aerial, too far to put the ball in the net, however. But he will get a rebound, putting it just over the net, and now chase down Laboost, trying to make a play on him, perhaps. Laboost is blocked by J4, and Matt will clear the ball back into Zenith's side. Zenith looked a little bit shaky there, and Laboost cannot punish them as he misses the ball to the left of goal. J4 once again trying to break, but this time Matt stands his ground and holds off the attacker. J4 gets into the air this time, misses the ball. Noodle sitting back once again. And Laboost trying to out-dribble him here. It is a mental game as well as a controller game, and Matt will power it home. Sammy 2 looking to even the series here, up 2-1 in game 2 with a minute 40 to go. An excellent finish there by Matt, who was waiting for the ball. He ended up putting it into a wide open net, but as we often say in even real life soccer, which obviously we cannot play right now because of a certain virus, you have to be there to score the goal.
Indeed.
If you're not there, you can't score it. The Boost plays the ball over Jay Ford's head into the corner where Noodle attempts to take it out back towards his side. But right now, Zenith can't seem to get off their side. The Boost flying into the air. That ball will certainly get off their side. And a fast break the other direction for Zenith. Jay Ford looking to center, will out dribble one, and then just takes it too far. All he had to do, it looked like, was put the ball in the open net. However, he will get the dribble back and put it in the net for the tying goal with about a minute to go. 2-2 is now the scoreline. It looked like Jay Ford had lost. Yes, sir.
We've got a real fight going on here.
It is true. We are looking at a very close match. Both teams wanting this game. Jay Ford fires the ball towards the net. Should be a save by Matt, and it is. However, the clearance is not so good. The Boost will just barely get to it, but the players caught out a little bit here. Zenith, however, cannot punish them. Noodle trapped a little bit in the area, losing track of the ball. Jay Ford, a good try to bring that out. Can't quite pull it off. Matt there, another good play to stop the Zenith team from getting a good attack by disrupting the car. A lot of this game is not just hitting the ball and getting up high, but also positioning, attack, figuring out where your teammate is on the field.
And aim.
But also, aim is a huge part of it too. Even on the defensive side though, the goal is often not just to stop the opponent from scoring perhaps, but also to mess with their cars and wherever they are. As we go into overtime here. First overtime of the series.
Yes.
The way overtime, for those of you who are perhaps new to Rocket League, overtime is an technically untimed thing. First goal wins, and there's the first goal.
What do you know?
8 seconds into the overtime period, LaBoost gives his team excellent dribble here over Noodle. A 3-2 victory in game 2, evening the series at 1 apiece.
And a ray of hope.
Given the fact that both of these two teams are undefeated, and the fact that this is a double elimination tournament, what do you think is the fact, or the possibility, shall we say, that we're going to see this matchup again in the grand final later tonight?
I say with the way we've been seeing these teams play, it's fairly likely. But we've seen some other very good teams earlier in bracket, and I think they'll all be hungry for some revenge.
It is true. The losers bracket right now, there are 4 teams currently remaining. Flying Rubric is currently playing Sabotac in round 4, and Team Bailey is currently playing Wanted Jeans on the other side of the bracket. If all goes well with this match, we will be streaming several of the losers bracket games to bring one team back up to reface the winner of this match.
Indeed, it'll be exciting
as we tick down to the final second, perhaps before we begin. But there seems to be a slight delay here as we wait for Zenith to prepare adequately for the next match. Game 3 is coming up next, folks. Once again, a best-of-5 series. The score currently 1 apiece. And the winner moved on to the grand final with the chance to walk away champion of the TU Rocket League Esports Tournament. The TU Admissions Office, as well as the TU Esports team for putting this thing together. The Admissions Office was kind enough to allow us to figure out many parts of this, really. They set us up with many incoming students and alumni, as well as current students, to make a very excellent game. So thank you to the TU server crew. Sorry, not server crew, admissions crew. There we go. And the TU Esports staff for making this possible.
Just huge thanks to all of you guys. You're amazing. And thank you to our viewers.
And now, unfortunately, we have been told we are having some technical difficulties here. So we will continue to hold up as we wait for the difficulties to be resolved. But currently, unfortunately, we are waiting for things to be back going again. We have seen a great tournament so far.
Oh, we have. This has been a treat to watch, treat to be a part of.
Both of these teams, Zenith and Sammy 2, have had good histories with their team. Zenith so far has not lost a game, actually, until that last game against Sammy 2. They beat Allegiance 2-0, Sabotax 2-0, and Physics 100 3-0. But they are now 1-1 with a team looking like they want to go toe-to-toe with them in the winner's final bracket. Sammy 2 South, on the other hand, had a similar path to the finals, beating Albert United 2-0 and Benton Pound Gang 2-0. However, they only took out Flourish 3-1 in their finals match. And several of those games were closer. Flourish attempted to make a run at the very end, but was not able to in the end. However, the finals match we have set for us today looks like a very even game. And given the fact that both the Physics 100 team and the Flourish team are very good teams, we may see one of 4 teams in the grand final here. In fact, I would venture to say that Zenith, Sammy 2, Physics 100, and Flourish, 2 of those 4 teams will end up in the grand final. Do you agree?
Yeah.
There are, again, 4 other teams still waiting: Flying Rubik, Sabotac, Team Bailey, and Wanted Jeans. And all those would be hoping and wanting to crash the party.
Hoping for a shot. And honestly, we've been seeing a lot of good play today. I am not quite sure if some of the teams we've seen could beat Zenith. They have been showing themselves to be very skilled. But honestly, I think no matter who ends up getting to grand finals, it'll be a good set.
Indeed. Just to let everybody know, the grand final match is actually a best of 7 set, which means you will have more games and more action to watch. However, the losers bracket so far is only a best of 3 pretty much until the losers final is how I believe that works, and then it becomes a best of 5 series. Therefore, we will again, assuming we end this game with enough time, we will get you down to the losers bracket teams to watch some of those games. And then after we have the losers final later on tonight, we will have the grand final between the current undefeated team and the champion of the losers bracket. And in the event that the champion of the losers bracket beats the undefeated team, since this is a double elimination tournament, we will have a second best of 7 series, winner take all, for the title, again, of TU Esports Rocket League Tournament champion. It is going to be a great evening. It has already been a great evening. In fact, we've seen some quality Rocket League. And I have been informed, thankfully, that the technical difficulties have been resolved. And we are ready to go for Game 3 of this best of 5 series.
Roll.
Game 3 is now underway. Laboosta and J4 canceling each other out at the front. Noodle comes back towards to try to help his partner. Mad over there first. J4 will clear over everyone's head pretty much, but Laboosta reads it well and gets back in time. Sammy 2, once again, is the orange team in this match. Zenith is the blue team, as Matt makes a good defensive play, fast break the other direction. If he can finish this, he can. Zenith caught out there, and 24 seconds into the game, as Zenith did really in one of the last 2 games. I can't remember which one. But in one of the last 2 games, Sammy 2 now does to them. And it is 1-0. Play resumes again with 4:36 to go in game 3. An attempted dribble there by Noodle doesn't quite work out. Matt will take the ball looking like he wants to possibly air dribble, but refrains from doing so after the ball gets kind of caught up beyond the wall. However, he will make an excellent centering pass to Laboost and a good save by Noodle, who reads it just well enough to make sure that no trouble happens. J4 attempting to make a team play goes right around Laboost beautifully. Noodle tried what looked like it could have been a shot vaguely towards the goal, I suppose. Doesn't quite work out. Laboost beats J4 in the air that time. Matt, a good shot, and that time Noodle cannot get there. 2-0 early to Sammy 2. And this looks like momentum coming off the last game. We may very well be looking at a Sammy 2 victory in this game.
My word.
Perhaps a slight upset, but Sammy 2 has proven themselves to be a very worthy opponent here of Zenith, who are, again, technically the #1 seed. And honestly, both teams are certainly good enough to be in the grand final. But only one team at this point can make it. The other team has to go through a very harrowing journey of several other games before they can even reach the pinnacle of this tournament. Back inside now, Noodle with a good shot on goal that is saved by J4. Matt and Noodle now will kind of trade places. Everyone misses the ball. Laboost also misses the ball, but he gets in goal. Matt now takes the forward down his right wing and attempts to go towards the net. That is blocked out by J4, and the ball now stuck in Zenith's corner. J4 brings it out on the dribble. Laboost waiting for him there will make sure he stays in the way. Cleared it towards the corner. Noodle attempts to bring it on for Zenith, and we'll get a good cross in here. J4 was too far back out to do anything about it. J4, however, will get the ball back now in the corner of the Sammy 2 team, but it goes up and beyond, and now into Zenith's corner. Matt attempts to take the ball here, but J4 watching him all the way, making sure nothing too bad happens. Laboost rockets the ball, quite literally, down in the corner of the opposing team. And we appear to be seeing a corner battle right now, I would say. The ball kind of going from corner to corner, not really settling in one of them. It is a very even game 3 so far, except for the scoreboard, which reads 2-0. Ball cleared now from in front of the Sammy 2 net, where it's getting Laboost trying to dribble it forward here. J4 making sure it doesn't quite make it into the net, and brilliant wall play there by Noodle to read the ball. He'll be looking to have a centering pass, but he ran out of use. J4, however, sends it back towards the goal. He is now on Noblest as well. Noodle tried to put it in the net, but great defending, I believe, by Laboost, who was waiting there to make sure he didn't. Matt brings it back towards the Zenith goal, but it is cleared immediately by J4. J4 now takes it up hard off the wall and very high, looking to get it all the way in the center, but that is blocked off by Sammy 2. Laboost, a good shot here, good save by J4, just putting it over the net, no fancy stuff. And cleared immediately by Noodle. Matt, a good shot in it, and that will find its way in. And through excellent defense and a good counterattack, as well as taking their chances, Sammy 2 have built themselves a 3-goal lead in Game 3. Again, the series currently tied 1-1.
We are seeing quite a reversal of fortunes here from Game 1.
Indeed, Game 1 completely controlled by Zenith, and from then on it looked like Zenith was going to take everything. However, Games 2 and 3 have belonged, somewhat at least, to Sammy 2, who right now look to be set to go up 2-1 in the series. Laboost trying to get there, will not quite make it. Noodle and J4 in the way there. However, he will be once again on the defensive side of things. Noodle with a good shot here will find it off the corner, off the upper corner post really, and into the net. Noodle again read the play very well, flipped upside down, crossbar down, no chance for any defense, and we are exactly 1 minute remaining in this game. Laboost and J4 attempt to cancel each other out, but the ball kind of rebounds inside where Noodle is waiting, almost reading it very well. J4 chips it up top where Matt will be waiting to make the save. J4 tries to play it off the wall, flips back up, and almost gets to it while it's still in the air. Very good skill by him. Noodle, an attempted pinch there, will get it and attempt to air dribble it, but it is sent right back out by Matt. The boost plays it off the ceiling. Can he get there? He can, but not a good setup, shall we say, to his partner as it bounces off the base of the wall. J4 now trying to attack the ball. Matt, excellent defense there. We have seen him look weak in previous games, but right now he is holding his own against the Zenith team. Great ball in the center there, but just too far for J4. He can't quite get there. And with 3-1 left, I will say it definitely has appeared like here is the fourth goal of the game now. The boost, I was going to say Sammy too certainly has been defending for the last minute, but once again the counterattack pays dividends for them as the Blues with an excellent air dribble makes the score 4-1. And at this point, barring a miracle, it will be the Sammy 2 team heading into Game 4 with a 2-1 series lead of this best of 5, needing one more win. And could there be more goals on the cards? I'm sure both teams would want them, but the ball hits the ground, causing no life fun, shall we say, even though the score would not have been affected. It is a 4-1 lead.
That was a pretty good game right there. At least for Sam.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, I seem to be having some connectivity problems, so I will probably have to disappear for a few minutes to see if I can get those resolved. So,
sounds good, Stuart. Hope all goes well with that, and we will see you soon.
That's the hope.
Stats for this past game have Matt at a solid hat trick, as well as Noodle. And once again, folks, we seem to be experiencing more technical difficulties. And we are going to go to a break, ladies and gentlemen. So please stay tuned. We will have the end of this match for you later on. Once again, Sammy 2 is currently winning 2-1 in the series. And we will have Game 4 coming up for you later. But first, we are going to go to a break. Thank you very much. Welcome back, everybody, to the winners bracket final match. We are currently looking at a 2-1 series lead for the Sammy 2 team, and they are beating Zenith currently. However, we have been, again, continuously having some technical difficulties, and unfortunately, it appears those are continuing. Most of these difficulties, just so all of you know, is with some streaming and lag issues, kind of the same that my partner Stuart was having. So we will try to get that sorted out, and if all goes well, we'll be back soon. Thank you for your patience.
Your lips are stained with fiction. You always have your reasons, and I spoil you rotten. Your hands are sealed in pockets. You fill them with your secrets. To you, I am nothing. I am. Your kiss, sweet like poison. You know you make me reckless. I'll run, but you are friction. Your touch feels like heaven. You make me hate all my sins. You are my religion. My religion. I have a million reasons to leave you, but I have a billion reasons to keep you. I have a million reasons to leave you, but I have a billion reasons to keep you.
Welcome back, everyone, to once again the winners bracket final match. We are currently basically almost done, actually, with this. The Sammy 2 team currently leads Team Zenith by 2 matches to 1. However, the last 2 matches have been plagued by all sorts of connectivity issues, which I know from personal things do affect the game a lot. So we are underway quickly here. Matt looks like he's trying to get a good start, and he has gotten a great start for his team. Only 16 seconds in. To this lead, which is very doubtful considering the skill level of both teams. They will go on to the grand final to face the winner from the losers bracket. However, Nero looking to see if that doesn't happen, and he has evened it. About 7 seconds later, it is now 1 goal apiece. Goals by Noodle and Matt have already made this a great start to the game. The game now is back underway. J4 and Labousse doing their best to each one cancel the other out. Semi-works. Noodle sends it back up top where it is cleared semi off the wall by Labousse, but now back on the wall and going back vaguely towards the goal, but more or less towards the corner of Sammy 2's side by J4. The ball now very much midfield along the wall, making it very difficult to play anything out. However, Noodle somehow gets out of that anyway and goes and scores his second goal of the match, giving the Zenith team a 2-1 lead in this best of 5 series, game 4. Zenith needs to win the game to force a game 5, which would be winner basically goes on to the finals, loser would drop down to the losers bracket and have a chance to perhaps reconcile themselves and get back to the grand final anyway. However, the winner of this game will certainly have a huge advantage because they will still be undefeated in the final. As the ball now cleans off the corner, it is knocked back down. That is a brilliant tip on by Matt. And it is missed by J4 and somehow also missed by Matt, who looked like he had a wide open net to score in. Noodle attempting to air dribble off the wall will instead pinch it off the wall, but J4 not quite in the right spot to get that back. He will try a stealing shot, but he will not work as he misses the ball. Matt will bring the ball back the other direction, also dribbling it, and what a fantastic play by Labousse. He goes and blows up the goalkeeper. Some good old school attack play there. One person gets a good shot away, and the other one simply goes and gets the other person out of the way. 2-2, 3.5 minutes approximately to go in this 4th game. J4 and Labousse will go in towards each other. J4 definitely won that battle, and Noodle fires it on net where it is saved by Matt. Not for long though. Labousse now will take it out, wanting to dribble past Noodle, but Noodle will shut him down quickly. J4 clears it towards the corner and gets his wheels on it before Matt can. Matt tries an upside down shot, but now is badly out of position. J4 just misses a hard aerial shot that would have definitely caused some grief for Sammy 2. Noodle attempting to get there aerially as well, but Sam's name a lot lately, Labousse, is in the way. However, Zenith certainly seems to be attacking right now, and J4 almost tried to center it for Noodle, but the ball was played back towards the midfield line, and then immediately sent off back towards the Sammy 2 side. And J4 makes sure that the ball actually gets in the Sammy 2 net this time. Noodle, a nice play to get it to the net, then cleared out the boost and made sure that J4 had a wide open chance to put it in the back of the net. 3-2 now to Team Zenith. Underway now, about 2.5 minutes to go, about halfway through this match. Ball goes up to the wall and slightly off the wall after it gets just barely to the ceiling. The boost will get to it, but a slightly poor start, honestly, by both teams in this case. No one really has a clear advantage. It is in the Zenith corner right now, but there's no obvious person or team taking advantage of it. It's kind of just chilling there. Noodle tries to drive it. Labouche goes off the ceiling. This is going to be a good chance. Out by J4. Excellently done. And Matt flies inside, beats both Zenith players to the ball, and powers it into the right upper corner of the net to give a 3-3 tie. My mistake. That was not the upper corner. That was more of the right middle of the net. It looks the same if you go from different angles, though. So, underway now with about 2 minutes left to play. Noodle will attempt to get this along the side and out dribble, but he will instead out fake Matt and leave it for J4 after also out dribbling the boost. J4 now has his second goal of the game. He set up both of Noodle's goals for 2 assists, but a brilliant play by Noodle there to outmaneuver both Sammy 2 players. And we now have a 4-3 Rocket League match in Game 4 of this Best of 5 series. J4 went for the ball, but also missed it. Labouste got the ball and then absolutely annihilated Noodle. The pass there is a good idea, but Labouste cannot put the ball on net. J4 attempts to do something with the ball, which is popped straight up in the air instead, because Labouste is there. Noodle will take the ball off the wall now and drive it down into the Sammy 2 territory, really, and the other half. J4 and Labouste were along the wall for a second there. Now the ball is back in the exact same corner, but this time it is Noodle versus Labouste. And Matt ends up showing up to just stop those two from taking over the game, so he can get a touch in finally. However, that is an awful touch by Labouste, and Noodle, with an excellent play after he just missed to the left, got his own rebound and deflected it past Matt and into the goal for a 5-3 lead. This is a very high-scoring affair. We've already seen 8 goals in the game. There's still 1 minute 15 seconds left to go. Zenith currently in the lead. If they do hold the lead, they would force a Game 5. However, bad miscommunication there between Labouste and Matt. As Labouste was coming hard for a chance, and Matt was obviously sitting in his way, trying to get out of the way, but also not really getting out of the way. Matt plays it towards the corner, can't quite gain control of it, but a good centering pass here. But Noodle and J4 are waiting for it, making sure nothing happens. J4 hits it back towards Noodle to clear. Noodle wins the wall battle excellently. And J4 now with some aerial prowess to take the ball and dribble it for a bit. Drops it back to Noodle for a powerful shot that'll go wide left the goal. But won't matter too much because the Sammy 2 players were there. Matt trying to dribble just to do something here, and will get a goal back for his team with 25 seconds left. Score is now 5-4, and we may still be looking at a good finish here. However, the Sammy 2 team does need 1 more goal to force OT. Zenith with 1 more goal to pretty much close the game out at this point. 25 seconds left to play on the boost, and J4 will go in for it, and the ball rebounds badly towards Zenith's net. Matt hoping to make that miserable life, and he will do well. The boost up top with a good shot. J4 holds down the fort with a good save. 12 and 10 seconds left to play. Noodle now with a nice aerial dribble, really. And there's the chip over. That will be game over. 6-4. J4 chips both of them with his hat-trick goal. And that will send us pretty much at this point to a Game 5 in this winner's final series. Once again, the winner of Game 5 will advance to the Grand Final. And the final seconds will tick off the clock. Zenith and Sammy 2 are set for a winner-take-all match. A thrilling Game 4 that time saw 10 goals being scored. Lots of high points. Noodle, J4, and Matt all with hat tricks. in that game. However, the winning team both had hat tricks, whereas the losing team did not have a strong showing on the offensive side, I would say. Game 5, however, promises to be interesting. Every game so far, Zenith won the first game by a substantial amount. Then in 2 lag games, Sammy 2 came back and made it more interesting. And now game 4, Zenith, yes, held off the onrushing Sammy 2 team to force a game 5, which is now underway, several seconds in. All 4 games so far have had fairly early goals. We will see if that trend continues. With this back towards the net, the trend does continue. This time it is Zenith with the early goal, J4 12 seconds into the game. It appears that every time the game begins, one of the team is not quite ready, which would lead to this sudden goal. Or both the teams are very good at early offense. Either way, though, the early goals in the series have not affected the final scoreline too much, as games have gone both directions. Nero here misses an aerial effort and played hard off the ball by J4. Matt will try to get that back and do something for his team, but it is knocked away by Noodle. Labus will go get the ball, and he will not go get the ball, more or less. Plays it back towards his net, where Matt thankfully is waiting, and will drive forward on Noodle, who will bring the ball back. Zenith playing very good defense right now, holding Sammy 2 at bay, but we will see if that lasts. J4 tried to flick it up for Noodle, failed rather epically, and here is a chance and a goal. Laboost grabbed the ball off a rebound from the wall and just put kind of a shot on net. Noodle missed the ball in the air, and J4 was really nowhere to be found in the ball. He got kind of caught ball chasing, and it is 1-1, 1 minute in. Play will resume now as Matt and Noodle will both kind of go up into each other. J4 with a high aerial route tried to get through Laboost, who tried to get through him. In the end, both of them missed, and the ball just kind of sat up there and did nothing. Matt will counteract the wall effort by Noodle. J4 will attempt to bring it back. Laboost kind of gave him a good opportunity, but Noodle right now is waiting on the wall to see what he can do. Laboost, however, wins the ball in the air. J4 brings it towards Matt, who reads it well, and a fast break now for the Sammy 2 team into Zenith corner. Good cross, but Laboost and Noodle cancel each other out pretty much. Noodle wins the battle, drives it back towards the Sammy 2 corner. Easily out of the goal area by Matt, but he gives up a chance then as Laboost and Matt do not quite communicate well. J4 trying to center the ball again, and Matt needs to get that, does not get that. However, Laboost is waiting for a good clearance opportunity. Matt takes the ball towards the opposite wall now. Instead of corner-to-corner play like I've seen a lot lately in this series, we have wall-to-wall play right now. Literally, the ball is going from one side to the other with seemingly no end in sight. However, Laboost right now has it in the corner of Zenith. Matt will keep it in the corner. J4 will try to clear it from the corner, and Laboost will send it right back into the exact same corner. The ball should probably start building a house here. He's staying there a lot. Noodle clears it from the corner and tried to send it forward where Matt was there to attempt an interception, but not able to fully get a good shot on net. 1-1, we are down to 2:15 to go in this game 5. Winner goes to the grand final, which will basically be the winner of the winner's bracket and the winner of the loser's bracket in a best of 7 series. J4, as we get down to 2 minutes left, will take it semi-forward now. Laboost waiting for him, however, at about midline. Noodle in the back is trying to get forward. He will now have a fast break forward, grabs Boost, looks to dribble inside. Matt and Laboost both, however, holding him there. Laboost with a good shot, way over the net, but hoping for Matt perhaps to be there. He is not there. Noodle is there, and will clear the ball towards the Sammy 2 corner. Matt, in his own defensive zone, picks it up, wants to dribble it here, but he's going 2v1, and Noodle makes sure he doesn't even get to the second player. A good shot here from J4 after a wall effort. Laboost with Boost, trying to chip Noodle, can't quite chip Noodle. Matt showed up at the last second, but J4 was there to make sure nothing else happened. Good shot here from J4. It'll be just over the net. Noodle with the rebound hits the crossbar. LaBouffe will clear and bring it forward where it goes into the corner. Matt and J4 will joust for it. Matt backs away, wisely perhaps. And the ball bounces near the post, really, as we are now under 1 minute to play in the match. Still 1-1, and both teams having chances. LaBouffe with a chance. He will score! 2-1 is now the score of the match. Sammy 2 now has the lead. Again, in this game 5, winner moves on. Zenith now needing at least 1 goal to tie Force OT, looking for a second goal perhaps to even advance before overtime. And clearly Sammy 2 would like to get that goal as well to ensure their progress to the grand finals. LaBouffe takes it off the wall. Excellent play there to dribble back and forth. Noodle chips it up semi-good. Matt, semi-well, what was that grammar? Matt attempts to bring it semi-forward again. A lot of semis in this game right now. Good shot here, but Noodle holding down the fort for Zenith. He'll bring the ball forward now. Under 20 seconds left to play. Zenith need a goal, and will try to get it. Only one man sitting in goal, however, and he clears it well. 10 seconds to go. And now Matt with a chance to perhaps ice the game just over. And they are both out of position now, the boost. And that is up in the air. If the ball hits the ground, it's over. Noodle attempting to score, and he will. 2-2. Ball took an absolutely horrible bounce off the base of the wall for Sammy 2. Going right up in the air. Couldn't have been better on a platter for Zenith. And they will tie it, forcing OT in Game 5. That's the goal, wins the series, and their team moves on. We did see overtime in Game 2 of this series. It was won very quickly, and similarly, it is won very quickly, within 7 seconds this time. Noodle gave Zenith the victory in this best-of-5 series. 3-2 in the final game. Noodle clearly man of the match for his final goal. And that will move Zenith on to the grand final. Sammy 2 will drop down into the losers final place, where if they win, they will have a chance to retake on Zenith for a champion. It has been an incredible series that has been dotted with a lot of technical difficulties, obviously. But thank you for joining us so far. We will be back fairly soon with the losers semifinal that will be fought out between Flourish and either Physics 100 or Wanted Genes, depending on who wins that match. And we will see you then.
the night, the city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling stronger, and I know I can do better. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the lights on. Open your eyes and see the people chanting, slowly falling apart. The silence causing an earthquake. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling higher, and I know I can be taller. Shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the lights on.
Running round like dollars in the wind, bending over backwards just to let you in. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Now I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now, still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and never. I was putting in the putting in the
myself. I'm cold, steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said, don't suffer no fools. Serpents, daydream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. Gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon.
Welcome back, faithful viewers. We are currently in the losers bracket now. We are going to be viewing a semifinal match between Flourish and Physics 100, two teams that we've actually showed on the stream before. And unfortunately, due to technical difficulties, Stuart will not be able to rejoin. So in his place, we have Mateo. Welcome, Mateo.
Hi, thanks. I'm very excited to get back into casting for Taylor Esports here. It's been a number of years since I've done it, but I've always enjoyed it and really appreciated those that do it. So happy to be here.
Glad to have you here. We are momentarily waiting for teams to come into the game, but we are looking at two teams who were knocked out of the main tournament, but looking quite likely now, actually, to make it still to the grand final. And what are you expecting from these two teams?
No, we've seen both of these teams, and both, I believe, are around the Champ 1 skill level, so it's going to be a competitive match. I expect to see a lot of back and forth. I think both teams will play solid, but there will be some key mistakes on both sides that I feel like will decide games.
I agree. And we are already 15 seconds underway here. For those of you watching, Flourish is in blue. They are led by Nflash and Quadexa as the shot goes nearly wide of the net, and Quadexa follows up, making it actually 1-0 now to Flourish, about 30 seconds into the game. The Physics 100 team being led mostly by RNGM 28, and Big Mason 01 is following.
Yeah, Flash did a great job on that press there to get the ball out and high. It was a nice bounce center for his teammate to put it home and around the defender.
Back at action here, Quadexa trying to come down to make it a 2-0 lead, but the ball bounces towards the corner instead. RNDM 28 will take it out, try to dribble past, and successfully dribble past Nflash. However, Quadexa, I've said it a lot in the past, and I'll say it still now, very good aerial defensive player. He has,
that's on demonstration there with that push. Quadexa took initiative to put it off the backboard and clear it out.
Indeed, which could be a dangerous play if he weren't so skilled. I know I personally would not have done it, but then again, I'm also not a champ. Good shot here, and Quadexa has made it 2-0, showing his attacking prowess now right after the defensive prowess. And Flash beats RNDM 28 just enough in the air to throw him off, and Quadexa managed to finish a good aerial shot.
Yeah, good counterattack there. Out of nowhere, Quadexa shoots a screamer on net. His defense of Physics is not able to stop it. We have a nice 2-0 lead now for Flourish.
And because this is the losers bracket semifinals, we have gone back to a best-of-3 format, which means game 1 will basically be very telling on who may go and win the series. There was a bad miscommunication there, actually, between the members of Physics, but they got away with it because, for some reason, Flourish was not able to capitalize really on it. Very strange. I think they... Would you say they need to communicate a bit more next time?
Yeah, I would say so. Communication is such an important part in this game that can really make and break teams, especially in such a high competitive atmosphere like this in a tournament. If you're not communicating, then oftentimes you're not rotating either, and that's where you can get into trouble. Quadexa with a close shot there.
Narrowly missed hitting the post, but the defense, in this case the goal, held. Quadexa now is the only one back He makes the play and is charged immediately by Big Mason, but no luck for him as the defense once again holds. RNDM 28 now in the corner, trying to get a centering, but way too far for any sort of attack to occur. Flourish now will get it towards the other end, but Physics once again staying there. The aerial wizard, I would say, RNDM 28 is still there, and Quadexa attempts to get it back vaguely in the direction of the goal, but that does not work either. Ball now staying around midfield, switches walls as Big Mason drives it into the corner of Flourish, and the ball will now hang out in the corner for a bit.
Yeah, we're just over halfway through the game, and there was an initial burst of offense from Flourish, and they were able to put 2 goals off of it, but we've kind of calmed down a little bit in the play. We're seeing a lot more back and forth. We'll see if Physics 100 is able to put in a goal and stay in this game, but if they don't start pushing hard, then there's their opportunity right there, and there's the goal.
Excellent play by RNDM 28, out dribbling. Who was it? It was Quadexa in the air. Interestingly enough, very nice tip into the upper right-hand corner of the net. And with a minute and a half left to play, Physics 100 have a lifeline in this match.
They definitely have a lifeline. The game is now within reach. So long as they keep up the pressure that they just demonstrated, they could definitely tie this up, if not take the game from Flourish.
And certainly in a best-of-3 series, it is vitally important to get that first game won. However, Quadexa, looking to put the game to bed, cannot do so. N-Flash will try to get into the corner, but he's blocked by 2 players. RNDM 28 eliminates the threat fully, and will try to take it out. However, the Flourish team doing a good job right now of pinning Physics 100 back.
Yeah,
they can't get the ball out.
One of Flourish's strengths is their ability to keep the offensive rotation going within Physics half. So we saw that in their previous series that was streamed, and they're able to reproduce that here. So that quick challenge in the midfield is going to pay dividends for them as they steal the ball away, and then in the end end up starving the Physics, and then that opens up opportunities to further their lead.
Indeed, a missed pass and also dribble there leads to an almost game-tying chance for RNDM 28, but calmly sent away by the defense. And that was a poor play. In the end, RNDM 28 got caught by Quadexa with the ball on his card too much, could not get the ball out. The defense was not in the right place, I would say, and it leads to being punished for now a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, Big Mason in that situation did not expect a fumble to come out from his teammate there. So he was expecting a push to come out, so he was going up the field, getting ready for a pass or a scoring opportunity. But Quadexa saw the misplay and punished Physics for it.
Ball now in the air, N-Flash looking to put the game to bed. He will do so. 4-1 with 5 seconds left. And game 1 at this point will certainly go to Flourish.
For sure. That was good recognition from Flash there to see that Physics was kind of scrambling. They're down 2 goals. They need to get the ball out, and so they kind of double committed on the wall there. So he took advantage of the opportunity, went up and put a security goal home.
And the final seconds will tick down here. There will be no chance for any sort of consolation goals. Flourish takes game 1 of this best-of-3 series. The winner of this series, because we are in the losers bracket, goes on to the losers final to face the Sammy 2 South team and have a shot then at going back to the grand final. The loser, however, is out. There's no second chance.
That's right. This is all or nothing right now. These teams have to put everything on the field in order to continue on in this tournament. Flourish only needs to take 1 more game, while Physics needs to do a little reverse sweep here in this best-of-3 to stay alive and to keep their championship hopes alive.
Indeed, and we are underway. 5 minutes away from one of these teams winning the game. Looked like perhaps a bit of lag there even, but not enough to affect the gameplay at this point. Ball is in Flourish's corner at this point, and they will fight with it for a bit before jamming it forward towards the Physics 100 path. But RNDM 28 will send it right back into Flourish's corner. Physics looking like they are trying to start out much stronger here in this match, and almost a goal as the ball tips off the corner of the net. Big Mason not there to capitalize, and now a fast break for Flourish. Can they capitalize on it?
They can.
A complete miss. And
Yeah, that counterattack opportunity caught them out there. They were not able to get back. You see rushing to net, trying to prevent the goal, but they went a little bit too fast. Quadexa plays the patient game and ends up getting a goal.
Early 1-0 lead for Flash. Obviously, sorry, Flourish, my fault. Obviously, momentum here is such a big part of Rocket League game in so many ways. We've mentioned it many times. Right now, the ball, again, kind of just stuck in one spot. No one can hit it for some reason. Now it does get hit and tipped immediately towards Flourish's goal by Physics, who need to do something. They might have a 2v1 if they hurry, but the defense now is back in position in time. Nice chip for R&D and 28. I would say there, Big Mason probably should have come up and taken it, and instead it was almost put in the net off the crossbar and down, but thankfully for Physics, it was not in. It came back out, and that was not played well.
Oh, no.
An absolute disaster.
Yeah, that did not go as planned for Flourish. Our NDM did a great job. He had low boost there, but he's able to get under the ball and get a flick on it to get it over the defense. And then that causes the Flourish defense to rush, and an own goal results. And now we have a tie game with 3:37 left.
I would argue perhaps Flash ran out of boost there, which is why he came down out of control, and Quadexa unfortunately is coming back from a poor angle and couldn't do a thing about it. Such is the game, however. And we are back in action, 3:20 now to go. 1-1, game 2 of this best of 3 series. Physics 100 needs the win. Unfortunately, Flourish is currently acing their class, but a defensive error there with the poor clearance almost caused a chance for RNDM 28. However, he was not able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I think overall, especially within this game, between the two teams, it is tied. However, I think Flourish is out ahead just a tad. Their rotations seem a bit more solid, aside from that overcommit. And there's a goal from Flash, but their rotations seem a bit more solid, and they know where each other is at on the field. Where I think Physics, that's the one place they could improve. There's been a few overcommits, a few double commits. They get bunched up on the rotation. If they can sort that out here in the last half of this game, then they definitely could take it, if not take the next one as well.
Indeed. Here's a chance for Big Mason now, saved by Quadexa in the air. Physics now have to go. They only have 2.5 minutes to try to find a tying goal, let alone a winning goal, either an OT or otherwise. That is almost straight up and very difficult to deal with, and it will bounce into the net. 3-1 for Flourish. Unfortunately, the defense there did not hold. Big Mason made a good save here, but then unfortunately RNGM 28 just missed it, and Big Mason was not waiting underneath it to help out. And the spin of the ball took it into the net.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate circumstance there. RMDM had a close opportunity, but wasn't quite able to keep it out of the net. They're playing behind by 2 now, but they still have plenty of time to bring it back. They just need to collect themselves, and they should be fine.
That shot goes just wide of the net. Another opportunity, perhaps. And Flash now defends well. And bumps RNDM 28 just enough to cause trouble for him. Defensive hit also comes off the wall there, and the ball vaguely goes back towards Flourish, but immediately hit back into the Physics end in front of the net now, but Quadexa is too far back to really make any count. RNDM will attempt an aerial attack here, but that is sent right back out by Quadexa, who will also attempt an aerial attack. Just, I'm not sure if he knew what the goal was at that point. Quadexa will now know where the goal is, and surprises the Physics team with a very nice play. And Flash here with an excellent aerial maneuver, and sets up Quadexa, who reads the play well, beats both players to the ball, and puts it in the net. 4-1.
That was a very good play from Flourish. I don't know if you caught it, but Physics did bump each other on the net, and that bump potentially cut out a save opportunity. But they were not able to stop the goal, and now there's another double commit coming out. They really need to just take a second to breathe, reset their rotations, and they should. The rest of the game, it's not out for them yet. They still have an opportunity.
Agreed. I did not notice the bump myself, so that's actually really good to know. Here is a good chance of perhaps a 2v1. Nflash does, I think, what he should do and get back in goal, and is able to distract Big Mason enough to avoid a powerful shot on net that could have easily gone in. The ball is now up vaguely in the corner, but nice stealing shot by, or stealing clear, I should say, by Nflash. Codexa brings the ball off of R&D 28's head, pretty much. Or roof of the car, I should say. It's been a long night.
It has been a long night.
We get down to 30 seconds remaining in the game. The ball going towards the corner. Physics need to find 3 goals in the last couple seconds, and right now it's looking very unlikely for them. The ball, right now it's a very midfield game. The ball is kind of being played, except for right now. Codexa chips it, hits the inside of the post, really. Does not go in, but Codexa will go get it back now. R&DM 28 in the corner will try to clear it out, and Nflash is once again waiting there. They've pinned them very well, and at this point, they're just playing for pride. Pretty much it is all over, folks. Flourish will advance after winning 2-0 to play the Sammy 2 team in the losers bracket final.
That's right. This will be a rematch, actually. Flourish will be facing up against S2S, or Sammy 2. This is a rematch of the winner's semifinal. Previously, Sammy 2 squeaked out with the win. It was a close. There were some close games, but it should be an exciting matchup, so stick around, and we'll have that up for you next.
She found a way into my heart. Oh, oh, she don't make out, no, she make art. And I need a way to treat it, 'cause I keep getting high off of her. Off of her. I know that you'd be bad from the minute I saw you. But somehow I keep running back to you.
Welcome back, everybody, to what is entitled the Losers Bracket Finals match. However, don't let the name fool you. The winner of this, what promises to be thrilling best of 5 series, will advance to the grand final to play the still undefeated Zenith. And what we have here is actually a rematch of what ended in a 3-1 series win in the winners bracket semifinal for Sammy 2 team. But we have actually a very early start, 4 seconds in for Team Flourish. Talk us through it, Mateo.
Yeah, they get a quick kickoff goal here, only 4 seconds in. Flourish is able to take advantage of the boost in the position of the ball. And so they cut second Sammy out and put it a nice one in the top right corner of the goal. And they have a nice lead early on. We'll see if they're able to keep it.
And just to clarify for everyone watching, Sammy 2 is the blue team. LeBoost and Matt are the 2 players there, whereas Flourish, who we just saw in the last game, is playing as the orange team. And Quadexa and Enflash are the 2 main players there. Right now, Flourish coming out very strong, perhaps because they have been playing more often. However, that's a very poor defensive play, and LeBoost will tie it with just over 30 seconds played.
That's right. LeBoost gets a nice little hit off the wall here, and both of the Flourish players go up, neither of them making contact, which just allows the ball to trickle into the net. And now we have a tie game, only 30 seconds in.
1-1 play back. The ball starts in the middle, but it's not in the middle anymore. Enflash will hit the ball vaguely in the direction, but LeBoost on the Sammy 2 team quickly attempts to change that. Quadexa now brings the ball back into the Sammy 2 half of around the right-hand corner, where Matt meets it on the wall and sends it all the way out. Only to halfway, however, where it is met by Enflash and sent back into the exact same corner. LeBoost now takes it off the wall and may have actually a chance there. He will play it off the corner, hoping for a bigger deflection towards his teammate, but his teammate was not able to be there. They will trade spots as Matt now takes it vaguely towards it, immediately challenged by Quadexa, who keeps it in the Sammy 2 half as the ball goes towards the other wall. LeBoost now wants the ball back on the original wall, but the ball does not want to stay on the original wall. It bounces up very high. 2 players challenge for the ball, and now LeBoost has a one-on-one, which he beats 1 player and Quadexa with an incredible comeback to make sure that LeBoost didn't end up with an empty nest, as it certainly looked like he was going to have. 3:20 remaining in the match. LeBoost again trying to dribble. Enflash reads it well this time, and Matt with a powerful drive will go just wide to the right of the first goal. Quadexa now takes the dribble forward and is immediately punished by LeBoost with a great hit off of the wall. Enflash gets a hit vaguely towards it, but Matt's waiting for him there. Once again, solid defense by Sammy 2 after the slight mistake in where it's going. Matt chips it up vaguely in the direction of the wall, which is hit right back down by N-Boost, but Matt gets it back off the wall. LeBoost with a firebolt shot and beats Quadexa at his near post. 2-1 to Sammy 2 with 2:44 remaining.
Quadexa there made the attempt to rotate out of net, and he took himself out just a little bit too far. He put a little bit too much faith in Flash there in the corner. Flash was not able to win it, as Matt got a nice recovery off the wall to pop the ball out to his teammate for a goal. And the net was wide open because of Quadexa's little push, although he's coming back the other way now. We'll see if he's able to get anything.
Quadexa made a nice push on LeBoost to try and take him out of his play for a bit, but Matt right now just has it on top of his car, just chilling. Enflash, however, takes it off the top of his car and attempts to put it vaguely towards Quadexa, who puts it towards the net, but it doesn't result in anything as Sammy 2 is able to bring the ball back forward. We are now on board with Quadexa as he brings the ball around the corner, 2 minutes approximately left to go.
I'm curious to see in these last 2 minutes how big of a role bumps and demos play. LeBoost puts another one up into an open net, but I'm curious bumps and demos play, because if Flourish are able to start to get within the second Sammy boys' heads, then that could really swing the game in their favor. If they start getting some boost steals, if they start getting some bumps, that could really throw off second Sammy's rotation and could really look good for the rest of their game.
However, as we saw in the first series that these two played, there's a definite advantage for Sammy 2 off the wall, and they are proving that right now. Matt, who made the pass to Laboost last time with a great off the wall pass, which Laboost finishes this one right off the wall. And those better wall and aerial play really is often the difference in the match when, as you say, the more physical play has not begun yet. And I think Flourish was able to profit from the physical play in match 3 of the last series, which they did happen to win.
I
But
would
they can
agree.
do more of that if they
Yeah.
want to come back in this one.
That's definitely how Flourish is able to get back at Sammy 2. It's how they're able to level the playing field because, like you said,
Oh.
they are not as skilled on the walls, and that's really where they're being hurt. Right here, we have a interesting opportunity. Matt is trying to take a shot where Quadexa goes for a bump but misses and actually hits the ball into his own net.
I know my brother has tried to actually fake the defense out in situations like that by just faking like you're going to make a move and then not hit a move at all. It may have been his intention. We'll never know. It is now back in the Sammy 2 corner, which the ball has not seen much of the Sammy 2 corner this match. It has been very much on Flourish's half for the last couple minutes, and that is really hurting Flourish as they are struggling to really gain control of the play. Matt coming off the wall here looks for an aerial play, but Unflash reads it well and gets in the way. The boost attempting to put it into the corner. Obviously, Team Flourish is going to have to try to do something here to perhaps erase a 4-goal deficit, but I don't see it happening at least in game 1.
Yeah, not with 40 seconds left. It's going to be quite the feat if they can pull that off. They do have an
However-
opportunity here, but whiff comes through. They can't do it, and now Matt's taking the ball back into the orange half.
He's very strong on the wrong play, going for a pinch cross here, but it does not work out. The boost tries to send it back towards the corner. Quadexa reads that one, and I'm not sure what he's doing right now. Matt just sends the ball right back down with 14 seconds left. This game is pretty much over. So what are you looking for? Obviously, the way Flourish is going to come back in this series in games 2 through 5, hopefully, is by more physical play. How can the Sammy 2 team then figure out how to close this series out in the next couple games?
Yeah, I think the Sammy 2 team can close this out if they continue outpacing Flourish, especially on those walls, like we said before. That's definitely a place where they have them beat. And I'd almost argue in the air in general, too. The Sammy 2 guys know how to get up for a ball. So long as they can win the ball in the air and try and keep the ball on the walls as well, that's how they're going to close out this series.
Their rotation and communication also seem to be better, at least right now. The overall scores, at least for that game, were extremely even. The Boost did end up with more goals, but the two players are good teammates and work well together, and that is also a huge part of the game as Game 2 gets underway in this best-of-5 series. Winner advances to the grand final. Loser is out.
An interesting note, too, both of these teams are current students, which is unique, actually, for this tournament, because we have so many prospective students playing, which is wonderful to see. But both of these teams consist of current students, and both of these teams consist of good friends as well. The Sammy 2 guys, they lived across the hall for each other for the past few years. They're good friends, they know each other, they've played this game together quite a bit. And then Quadexa and Flash as well on Flourish, they're good friends as well. They play games together all the time. They've pretty much learned Rocket League together. So we have two good chemistries here. I'm curious, though, how much fatigue is playing a role in this game. Because the Flourish guys have played one more series, and they've been grueling through the lower bracket to get to this point. Whereas the Sammy 2 team, they had about a 20-minute, maybe 30-minute time to cool down after their winner's final match. They can grab some water, use the bathroom, come back fresh. So they might be feeling a little fatigued as well.
Ball now we're about a minute and 15 seconds in. Good chance for Quadexa, but the Boost blocks it, and now possibly a fast break. And finished by the Boost, 1-0 up. the defense there got caught out and could not get back in time as players double committed forward.
LeBoost had a good recovery off of his initial save there. He boosted down to the ground quickly, saw the open net opportunity, and then was able to put it home for a 1-0 lead.
3 minutes and 39 seconds left. Podexa and LeBoost do not cancel each other out. I would argue that Podexa won that battle, considering Flash just dribbled right around and scored.
Very good play here from Flash. He gets the boost, bumps the player out of the way, and then is able to get around the ball. Matt's facing away from the direction that the ball's heading, and Flash just takes a nice tap in, and it's a solid goal.
Indeed. This ball now sent off the ceiling early, and Podexa will have to get it out of his own zone to avoid anything happening, as Matt was first. And Flash there missed the play off the wall, and Podexa will again send it all the way back down into the other end. He will try a cross that half works, but both Flash and LeBoost miss it in midair, so Podexa has to just do it himself and get a good pass to Flash. Good save there by Matt, who came down from above to stop whatever horridness was happening. He will try a ceiling shot, but too much power on the ball to really do much with it. And Podexa and then Flash, through some combination of them, will try to get it out. Matt just missing the corner there off what I think was a very good chance. Flash tries to take it out up the wall as LeBoost sends it back towards the other side. We get down to about 2:35 left in this game.
That last goal that Flursh scored was on the ground, and I've noticed that they play a lot better when the ball is on the ground. When it's in the air, they tend to scramble, like we can see there. They're out of position.
Indeed.
So if they keep the ball on the ground, then perhaps they can inch this game out and then this series out as well.
Unfortunately, right now they are down 2-1, just over halfway through game number 2, and they are already down 1-0 in the series. That is a harsh ball to deal with, but dealt with well by Podexa, but immediately smashed inside by Matt, and LeBoost just missing with a good upside-down effort. Flash trying to counter that, but Matt reads it well. Flash will go up onto the corner to try to center something, but hit the ball completely, and Podexa will have to send it back towards that same corner, get his rebound, play it off the back wall, where no one's really home, and Flash will have to scamper back to avoid a long shot from going in, as he was going to get boost. Flash will now send it flying towards the other corner. Podexa will try to get up and puts it off the inside of the post, but unfortunately the ball was spinning the wrong direction. Matt now drives the other direction, attempting to finish the counterattack, and will do so. Almost an inch away from scoring on one end, and unfortunately scored on the other end. Flursh now down 3-1.
That was a very good opportunity from Flursh to score there, and it was just ever so off. And they had an opportunity to save it on the way back, but weren't able to do it. Sammy 2 is able to capitalize, and now they have a 2-goal lead.
There is a destruction as Podexa makes sure Matt can take no more part in these last few seconds. However, he's now back. Podexa with a sharp play to make sure the wall is not usable really by the Sammy 2 boys. But I will say that Flash kind of spun around there and almost caused him trouble because he tried to slide into position and missed his slide, overshooting the ball by a substantial amount. Matt, now facing his own goal, will try to turn that, but Flash reads it well and just gets it straight up in the air where the boost will come down with it pretty much. Podexa hits it on the ground towards the Sammy 2 net, but not close enough to cause any trouble. We get down to about 50 seconds remaining. Good play by LeBoost to make sure that no dribbling could happen. And Matt sends it towards the net, but it ends up going into the far corner. And some bumping on the way between these two rivals, Podexa and Matt, fighting hard. Podexa, good centering pass, and Flash just misses the upper portion of the net as it pings off the crossbar. However, that pinged off the ceiling and just missed the far corner. That was trouble if it got on goal. 20 seconds now left, still 3-1. Flursh has been trying to score a lot, but a good, solid defensive showing by the Sammy 2 boys have kept this enough of a game that it looks like at this point it is about to be a game 3. No comeback will happen pretty much. The boost making sure that does not happen, and the score, no matter what happens here, will mean that Sammy 2 will go into the third game with a 2-0 lead, looking to close out the series and go back for a rematch against Zenith.
Yeah, Flourish here are in a difficult position. They're playing in a best of 5 and they find themselves down 2 goals. They need to do a reverse sweep here to make it back and keep their tournament hopes alive. I'd say during this 60-second break here, they really need to just take time, breathe, reground themselves, and maybe talk over some of the things that they're seeing, some of the things they can improve on as far as rotations go, and how they can break apart the Sammy 2 defense. Because right now it's holding strong with 5 saves. They Flourish did, however, have 9 shots on goal. Only about half of those were saved by the Sammy guys, so that tells me that their shots are going wide, they're going high, they're not quite going in. So they need to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net.
A good way to state it. And we will see if they can do just that in game 3 of this best of 5 series. As of now, if Sammy 2 can win this match, they will close out with a full sweep over Flourish. They were also up 2-0 in the last series when Flourish came back and won game 3 before being beaten in game 4. Flourish obviously hoping to repeat that back with that, so we'll have an early effort here. The ball not quite on the wall for a good opportunity, so he'll just clear it towards the net pretty much with a lot of power and momentum. Matt trying to chip, but that's a good defense there, and will also block the shot of the boost next. And Flash will take it up the wall, hoping to hit it off the corner, but Matt reads that well. And Flash will instead try to dribble it in, and Matt again reads it well. Out jumps pretty much Twidexa. Ball now in Flash's corner, and Flash will get that well out, but easily saved by the Sammy 2 boys. Ball now in the Sammy 2 corner, cleared very quickly. Flash, waving semi, tries to go backwards for some reason. And LaBoost wanted to hit that off the wall, not good timing. Twidexa completely misses it. And that is going to be finished. Off the inside of the post, spun into the net by Matt after some pretty poor play, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Flourish defender who came out there and didn't quite make contact with the ball forced his teammate, who was back in net, ready for a shot to come on, forced him to come out and make a quick decision to challenge the ball, and that leaves the net wide open. And because Matt was so close, he had him beat. He had pace on the ball and was able to put it right past for a 1-0 lead.
We are within 3 minutes and 50 seconds now of perhaps sending a team to the grand final, or perhaps starting another game. We will know. Matt takes it off the wall, looking like he's going to try to air dribble it here. Does so well, and excellent defense there by Twidexa to make sure that he cannot finish. It was a good opportunity.
S2S here are playing for a grand final spot and a rematch versus Zenith. It'll be exciting to see if they are able to get that, or if Flourish are able to turn things around here, put a few balls in the back of the net, and get a goal.
And Flash there had perhaps an opportunity to put one on net, but did not do so. Twidexa jams Matt in there hard off the ceiling, which will cause some trouble, but not too much as Matt just makes sure it gets out at this point. He will try to air dribble, but runs out of boost, and it'll be powered back into his own zone. Ball in the Sammy 2 corner right now. Good centering pass for Flash, but Twidexa gets a little bit too far underneath it. Jumps over the boost to get the ball, but unfortunately, Matt, again, good defending, right on the line and waiting for it. Good shot here from Matt, but a tight angle does not go in. Ball now into the Flourish corner, and Matt, it seems to be the only one who can get any sort of tire on it right now. He'll chip it up far and deep, and Nate will go high off the wall on his own backboard and bring it forward. Matt there to meet it, brings it into midfield, tries to aerial hit it, but does not quite get it. LaBoost and Flash will challenge each other for the ball. Matt is, however, waiting. Twidexa was not back, and nice tip there, just hitting the post on the outside. Matt, another good opportunity, and the drive by Twidexa does go in, and after a sequence where either team could have done something, instead a 2-goal swing comes as one ball hits the post and one does not. 1-1.
Yeah, Flash makes a critical 50-50 there and is able to win the ball and put it in front of an open Sammy 2 net, and Quadexa is able to finish off because I believe it was the boost went to grab boost, actually, and he was not able to make it back in time. Quadexa put a powerful shot on net, and got a tie game with just under 2 minutes left.
Nice aerial shot there by Unflash, but way too high to really do anything with it, and Quadexa was too far back to make it happen. However, Sammy 2 seems to have backed off a bit here. They keep trying to come forward, but they're more counterattacking right now than anything, I think. And that's giving Flourish at least an opportunity to come on. Now that also may be that Flourish is obviously 2-0 down in the series. Good save there by the duo. And needs to press. Matt there got kind of out-jumped for some reason. Minute 20, good tip on by Quadexa, but unfortunately no one home. 1-1, if the game does stay tied after the timer runs out, we will go to OT, but both players missed it there, and Quadexa will just have to stand strong as Matt crashes into him. And clears out both defenders, and a goal for the boost because of that. Nice clearance here by Matt to take out both defenders, and Flash then went for boost, which was a mistake. And unfortunately, trying to save the ball, Quadexa put it in his own net.
Laboost did a great job to get around that in the air. He's able to just get enough on it and just put it far enough outside of the Flourish defense that they're able to get to it, but he adds a little bit of a sting with it because it turns into an own goal.
Another miscommunication there almost causes a lot of trouble, however, for Flourish, and if nothing else, this game may end very shortly, almost an own goal by Flash off the post instead. Matt will be pressuring and just, as I like to say, bothering the other team there, making sure they don't have too many clean plays. Quadexa trying to tip that forward, and Flash also waiting there, 30 seconds left. If Sammy 2 boys can hold on in this game, they will go to the grand final, because they already have 2-0 in the series, and Flash trying to see if that doesn't happen, and force a game 4. However, there are now 12 seconds left, and it is goal or go home now. And Flash will try to drive it. Quadexa takes it off the corner, and a good cross, but way too powerful. And that would have been the game if he would have let it hit the ground, and now it is the game. Sammy 2 sweeps Flourish, and will move on to rematch against Zenith in the grand final. The last game on those two ends up 3-2 Zenith, but the game 5 they played also went to overtime. We will see if the best of 7 series can offer the same entertainment that the best of 5 did.
For sure, that will be a very exciting match. We'll have that up for you next. It's very important to keep in mind, too, that it is a best of 7 instead of a best of 5. That allows both teams so much more time to react and respond to their opponent's play styles, what they're doing. It allows them to fix the mistakes that they're making and really just come in with a new mindset as well. We'll have that up for you next, and we will see you then.
You got me burning up.
You got me burning up.
Well, it has been a long evening, but we are finally at what promises to be the culmination of the tournament, the grand finals. The winner of this best of 7 series will win the Taylor University Esports Rocket League tournament, and we are underway.
This is sure to be an exciting matchup. It's a rematch of our winners finals. These two teams have faced before, and it was a close series. In that best of 5, it went to 5 games with a Game 5 overtime. Curious to see if these teams come out with the same amount of pressure, with the same amount of force, with the same amount of defensive presence. This is going to be a good match, Drew.
I think it will be, Mateo. As with last time, the team that is known as Zenith will be playing in the blue colors, and the Sammy 2 boys are back in orange. As early on in this game seems to be both directions, Needle here off the ball, and a good shot by LaBoost, but easily saved by J4. Noodle attempts to tip that on towards the opposing team's net, and he will just go back and get it off the wall when it's saved. Nice play there, and J4 with an excellent finish. Early goal, 1-0, and perhaps a sign of things to come.
Perhaps. J4's teammate there, Noodle, knocks it out in the middle, and J4 quickly double jumps up to that boost to the ball, is able to get over the second Sammy defense. A curious thing, or a fun note with this matchup, the second Sammy boys are Taylor students, but the Zenith team is all prospective students. So we have a little bit of the old guard versus the new here, but we'll see who's able to take it. But right now, it's looking like Zenith has the lead. We'll see if they can repeat their winners finals results.
Indeed, a good clearance back there by Matt to get it out of harm's way for the Sammy 2 boys. But Zenith continuing to attack early here. We are 3.5 in, and the ball has not crossed the midway line very often. Noodle here, open shot, will miss the net to the left, unfortunately, and will promptly be demolished by Matt, who will fly down quickly towards J4, who reads the dribble well. And J4 will chip LeBoost if possible. Good save by LeBoost after it went up the crossbar. J4 again chips it up. Noodle trying to rise up to see what he can do, but that ball is sent away as well. J4 up in the air. He has excellent aerials, I would say. Good chip on though by Matt, and putting a shot on the goal of Zenith, which Noodle calmly sends away and tries to finish on the other side. LeBoost got caught out there and bar down J4 2-0, second goal of the game. And Zenith look like they're going to be cruising to a game 1 victory.
J4's shots have been on point so far this game. He's got 4 shots on net, but 2 goals, but both of those goals have come from assists from Noodle. They're working as a team here, and it is paying off.
Matt with an interesting shot there. Very nice defense by Noodle, but that is up in the air. J4 deals with it well, however. The boost plays it off the wall, and a miscommunication looks like by Zenith, who goes for a semi-shot on net by Matt, but easily cleared. And Zenith will now drive possibly 2v1. A misplay there, and J4 misses as well. Now a 2-on-0 the other direction. Should be 2-1, and is. The boost finishes well after a double commit on the other side by Zenith.
These are the opportunities that Second Sammy has to take if they want to stay in this series and in this game. They have to punish Zenith for their mistakes, for their double commits, for their missed touches, if they want to be able to take it to Game 7 and get this bracket reset opportunity.
Indeed. And just to remind everyone what exactly that is, Zenith has not lost a game yet. Since we are in a double elimination tournament, should Sammy 2 happen to win this best-of-7 series, then both teams will have 1 loss apiece, and we will need to play another best-of-7 series to determine exactly who is the grand final winner. But if Zenith can pull out the best-of-7 series now, we will not have to play another series because that will be Sammy 2's second loss, and therefore game over. However, Matt is attempting here to get a good opportunity for Sammy 2, turns well, but Noodle right on his back the whole time, not giving him any opportunity. J4 goes up aerial, challenged by Matt, and they cancel each other out, leaving the ball to just go up and down. Noodle in the back will attempt to get that out. It is won well, though, by Matt, again. And a good shot goes in. Gets over the defense.
Here it is again. Sammy 2 is able to capitalize off of a mistake of Zenith. They bump each other on that back wall, and then they both scramble to get in net for the impending shot. The boost puts just enough power on it. He gets it just over the defense, and suddenly we have a tie game with a minute left. I have a feeling that this last minute is going to be intense. Both teams are going to be playing probably with a little bit of nerves because they don't want to give up this first game. They don't want to lose in this series. So we'll see what happens here. Both players of Sammy 2, though, going up for that save.
And some good defense was honestly all that kept it out of the net, although it looks like Sammy 2 has a little bit more momentum right now. The boost takes it along the wall. Noodle is honestly does well just to make sure it doesn't bounce totally into the center. And he will now drive along the wall to make sure it totally gets out. Matt will attempt to pick it up there, but he may have been waiting for his partner, and no matter what happened there, fact of the matter is the ball is now in their zone. The boost will go after it and stop J4 from using the wall to their advantage, but a quick bump there, and now all of a sudden, they are in good cross inside, and Matt has scored 3-2, 13 seconds left. There is still time, but well done again. You saw the explosion there as the Sammy 2 boys simply cleared Zenith out of the way and finished their chance.
They did great to capitalize on that opportunity, and only 13 seconds left. That puts Zenith in a very peculiar situation here, although they have an open net and they score.
We may be looking at another overtime game, folks. 3-3, 7 seconds left. Still time, but LeBoost there was not quite in the best position he could be, and the fast play off the wall by Zenith caught the Sammy 2 defense off guard. You will see if anything happens. Noodle and Matt cancel each other out early. J4 here is going to have a shot, and we will see what happens. J4 is going to use it for sure. Well, it's defended by Matt, and we will need overtime. Next goal will win the game.
Very good patience there from Matt to not jump at J4's aerial. J4 could have done a lot with that in the air, but instead Matt played it patient. He didn't take the bait, and he waited and was able to knock the ball down. And here we are in overtime with endless amounts of time to determine a winner of this game.
Indeed, in the last two games these two played went OT for 7 and 8 seconds respectively. We are obviously now well past that. And looking at who will have the early advantage. Noodle there playing it across the goal, just not able to finish anything. However, J4 going after the ball now in his own zone will attempt to clear it forward and now get Mario hit on things. But he lost a bit of control there, and this is a good chance. However, he clears Matt out of the way well, forcing the boost to make a save to prevent a Game 1 lead for Zenith.
I think it's important, too, to remember how Sammy 2 lost in the previous series. They had the series in the bag. They were 10 seconds left. They were up by a goal, but yet somehow Zenith were able to squeak one in at 0 seconds, and then Sammy 2 lost the overtime. I'm sure they would love to erase that memory and win this overtime here.
Zenith again trying to use the wall to their advantage, but Sammy 2 shutting it down fast. That shot does not hit the ceiling, however, and simply bounces way outside. Matt will pick it up on his left wall, but is immediately stopped by Noodle, who is on his right wall. The ball will stay near the same wall as it goes down onto the other side of the court, where Noodle with a good shot, and it will get in. Maboose just cannot get back in time to prevent a goal from going in, and 1 minute and 34 seconds into overtime, Noodle has given Zenith a perhaps vital 1-0 lead in this series. But there are still 7 games, and if this game was any indication of what we're in for, this is going to be a real treat.
That was quite a way to end the game. Zenith finishes the game with the same way that they started it. A pass from the right wall into the center for their teammate to finish it. I'd like to point out here the stats, too, on Zenith. 4 goals, 4 assists. They are working as a team here. They had 13 shots, tons of pressure on net. They did a fantastic job, but Sammy, too, did a wonderful job as well at being able to capitalize on the mistakes made by Zenith. They kept it as a really close game. They went for demos. They got goals. They played a solid game as well. This series could go either way. It's been close so far just with this one game, and I imagine it's going to stay close for the rest of the series.
Indeed, we are about 15 seconds away now from seeing Game 2 of what promises, again, to be a thrilling best-of-7 series. Depending on how many games that this goes and who the winners end up being, we may be able to crown a champion, or we may have to play another best-of-7 series to see who will be the grand champion of the Taylor University Esports Rocket League Tournament, and Game 2 of this grand final is now underway. Noodle beginning smartly on the side, trying to dribble into the net. Matt, however, reads it well and clears it. J4 out of position and misplays the ball, bouncing over his head 11 seconds in. As in the first series between these two, another early goal.
Drew, I'm going to need you to get your ruler out here because J4 just missed that by millimeters. That was so incredibly close. The ball just skirted right above his car and right into the net to give Sammy 2 an early lead here in the game. Only about 10 seconds in, that's what Sammy 2 needs. Now if they can only build off this lead and hold this lead, prevent Zenith from scoring, they can run away with this game.
However, as we saw in the first series, the first team that scored the goal usually did not necessarily end up winning the game. Therefore, it will be interesting really to see how the momentum changes using that goal as perhaps a thing. Matt here, a good opportunity and a good shot, finds the top corner of the net. And now the game has changed. This is one of the first 2-goal leads we've seen in this series, or really in any game between these two teams. For the Sammy 2 boys.
Matt is given so much space here. He goes up for an aerial off the backboard. He does all the work himself. The ball pops down right onto his hood, and he slams it home. Top of the goal. Zenith could only watch as Matt put that one in. That was a beautiful shot. We'll see how they respond here.
Zenith attempting to respond, but the ball is unfortunately back in their corner. Nice blow up there, though, but the J4 don't get in each other's way. However, that doesn't really matter in the end because a good cross ends with a good finish. J4 have the lead. 2-1, 3:53 remaining in the game. It looks like we are in for a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, and just like that, Sammy 2's lead is cut in half. There was a demo that took place on the field that took one of Sammy 2's players, I believe it was LeBoost, off the field for the 3 seconds. Those 3 seconds were crucial as Zenith were able to push down the field. It put Sammy 2 in an interesting spot, one that they were not able to handle.
And now Sammy 2 is on the defensive side of things, although not for long as Matt launches it back in. Another misplay by J4. He has been very reliable in these last couple games, really, and several misplays. However, he makes up for that with a nice goal here as Sammy 2 gets caught double committing, and just like that, we are 2-2, minute and a half in.
Yeah, Matt goes for that ball off the pass from LeBoost, and if he's going up for that, he has to get to it. I was on his player cam watching what he was doing, and he hesitated just for half a second, and that half a second is what cost him a touch on the ball and ultimately cost him a goal.
It is so strange that in a game of 5 minutes, many goals and good chances and, in fact, game-changing moments can come down to literal milliseconds. So the next thing I'm going to have you do is get out your stopwatch so that we can also measure that next.
Stopwatches, rulers, get it all out. This is such a close series. You can hardly measure the difference in skill here. It's quite an exciting match.
Indeed. We are under 3 minutes to play. Matt looking like he wants to try to dribble, but Noodle with a very nice interference play from the back to make sure that does not happen. LeBoost will now go get it in his own corner and attempt to do some type of aerial dribble out, but it did not work out. He just played too hard off the ceiling instead. Good punch out, though. J4 will have to keep an eye on that as it goes just wide of the net. And he will bring it out of his own corner, trying to dribble it past everybody. Matt, however, will now turn it, trying to play it back towards his side. That ball is off the wall, though, and safely to the side of the Sammy 2 goal. LeBoost will now take it out and will out-dribble. It goes in the corner, 3-2. LeBoost out-duels basically the entire team again, as one man misses here, and then J4 is beaten there.
Yeah, LeBoost takes a heavy touch around the Zenith defense, and he's able to put one home. He doesn't quite break their axles, but he gets pretty close, and he gets Sammy 2 the lead.
Indeed. Off the restart now, Noodle looking to do something. Very nice bump there by Matt, and Noodle just returns the favor. The boost puts it into his own corner, which is not a great play, and J4 punishes this. Ordinarily, you would think that it's a decent idea to put it in your corner to try to clear it, but against this team, you've got to get it higher so they don't have a chance to get a good shot on goal like that, I would think.
Exactly. This team knows the corners, so your corner hits on defense have to be placed perfectly. They have to either go high and away from them, or they have to go nice and low, a roller up so it's an easy catch. This ball did not. It bounced off the wall and set Zenith up for a shot.
However, a double commit there almost causes problems for Zenith again, but LeBoost is not able to capitalize on it. Instead, J4 will take it out of his own zone, and nice air dribble back towards the goal. Good save there by LeBoost to keep it out. Matt goes aerial to try to get it out, but the ball is right now pinned in their zone, and that could be, it is not, and it should be, and it is not again. Well defended by the defense of Sammy 2. However, Zenith are right now on the attack, and it looks like only a matter of time. Matt takes it out of his own zone, trying to do something. He wanted to maybe do a personal pinch there with his teammate. It did not work. Noodle will drop it back, looking for J4, but Matt will make sure that J4 does not live to get that ball. Nice centering pass here, but unfortunately the boost is too late to finish it.
The boost there ironically just ran out of boost, otherwise that would have been a goal for Sammy. We'll see if they can get something off this push, though. They still have pressure. Oh no, that's an unfortunate pinch, but LeBoost is back.
We are down to under 40 seconds left now. LeBoost chips one and now only has Noodle beat. How does he do it? He does it very well with a nice dribble and chip upstairs to avoid The defense, J4 there got caught out, unfortunately, and could not get back to help out Noodle, who lost to the nice dribble of the boost. And with about 30 seconds left, once again.
Yeah, that was
Well,
excellent situational awareness there for LeBoost. He saw that he beat the one defender. He had full boost. He had time and space to work with. So what does he do? He puts it on top of his car and gets a nice little flick up on top and gets them the lead with only 18 seconds left.
But no lead is safe in this series. As we know, Zenith has a habit of coming back. So the question is, can Sammy 2 hold up? It does not look like they'll be able to as Noodle drives it inside. And 4-4 looks like Game 2 is also bound for overtime. An unfortunate bounce there as like 3 players exploded off the ball. Unfortunately, Sammy 2's players went in the wrong direction, and Zenith made him pay.
Yeah, we're finding that Sammy 2 have this bad habit of going ahead with only a few seconds left in the game, but then losing that lead right when it matters, right when they have the opportunity to close out the game. Whether it's a double commit or their rotations are just a little bit off or one of them runs out of boost, it's biting them right now and costing them the series as they lose another game in overtime.
Noodle finishes after LeBoost misses off the wall when the ball did not, to be fair, the bounce of the ball did not help them at all. But in that scenario, if you're going to go for it, you have to hit it. There's no second chances. You know Zenith will be on the ball at that point. And that is it for Game 2. Zenith now holds a 2-0 lead in the series, although it could just as easily be a 2-0 lead for second Sammy.
And that's just it. It could have gone the other way. For the past 3 games now that Zenith have played against Sammy 2, they have taken the win right out from under their nose. Right when it looked like Sammy 2 was going to be able to pull away with a victory, Zenith has swooped in, scored a goal, pushed to overtime, and then won the overtime. If I'm Sammy 2 right now, I'd be taking a minute to kind of step back, reevaluate what we're doing, and then move forward. But Zenith, on the other hand, they need to keep applying pressure. They need to keep being aggressive. That's what's winning them the series right now, and that's what's going to ultimately win them this tournament.
Indeed. Well, we are just a few seconds away from what promises to be a critical Game 3. Zenith has the opportunity to go 3-0 up in the series, a nearly unassailable lead. And at the same time, if Sammy 2 can pull it out, they cut the series lead to 1 and for sure force Game 5. Game 3 starts now. 5 minutes to go. Who will be the winner of this game? Well, once again, we have an early goal. 0.4 seconds into the game. And an early start for Zenith off a honestly rough corner bounce that could have bounced in many different places. Unfortunately, it was a perfect center pass.
Yeah, Sammy 2 gets a very unfortunate kickoff, and they're not able to respond in time. Noodle punishes them for their just lack of response, and they're up 1-0 very quickly in this very, very critical game number 3. If Zenith are able to come away with a win here, then that puts them in a reverse sweep position. That puts Sammy 2 in a reverse sweep position in a best of 7, which is not a place you want to be. I've only seen a handful of reverse sweeps in my life, and in a grand finals match, when you've been playing for close to 5 hours, that is a very difficult thing to do.
Indeed. J4 here playing it off the ball, trying to center it to Noodle, who can't quite get the tip on it on the goal. And LeBoost will come the other direction towards the goal, out-dribble one again, but unfortunately not dribble the other one. Noodle there attempting to put it on goal as the defense for Sammy 2 was non-existent, but not able to. However, J4 intercepting and out-dribbles everyone. Great defense there. LeBoost did not hit the ball. He went for the player and used the player to shove it into the ball while at the same time negating the attack. That may be a key moment we have to come back to at some point, as possibly Zenith's chance to go up 2-0 if Sammy 2 can end up pulling this one out. But right now, Zenith are looking very dangerous. J4 and Matt will go. LeBoost, a good shot there, but Noodle comes to the rescue to save that. Matt gets caught out a little bit, manages to get a tire on it, but chips it up. Great ball in the center there, but too far, and J4 was not there soon enough to cause major trouble for Sammy 2. Noodle now going with a nice air dribble, good out by Matt, and good win by LaBoost, and there we have it, folks. 1-1.
1-1 on the punish for the overcommit. Noodle tries to get the ball center. I'm not sure. Oh, J4 did the right thing. He had to challenge there if he wanted a hope of them not scoring, but he didn't quite get up enough. And LaBoost is able to beat him out and get a goal. Sammy 2 is on the board.
That came till after Zenith had a lot of good chances to go 2-0 up. And will the missed chances come back to hurt them in this game, perhaps? Noodle and J4 right now are definitely on the attack, and they'll continue to attempt to be on the attack. However, Matt puts it into the Zenith corner, where it is knocked directly back out. Nice effort there to get it towards the goal by LaBoost, but he is not on goal and easily cleared by J4. Ball bounces now very much towards midfield. Noodle with an interesting looking play there to, I think, get it to his teammate J4, but it didn't work out at all, and LaBoost now had a good opportunity to get a good shot away and scores. Surprisingly, did not try to chip the Zenith's defender that time, but simply went near post with a very interesting maneuver as Noodle tried to cover the rest of the goal. A very smart play there by LaBoost, and it's 2-1, just over halfway.
Just over halfway with the lead. Sammy 2, they've been in this position before. I hope for their tournament lives that they are able to lock down their defense here, that they're able to lock down their rotations and build. As we see a double commit come out there, that's not a good start. You have the lead and really, really desperately need to keep it in this important game 3.
However, a kind bounce there off the wall caused them to not be on their heels. Instead, they are now able to press Zenith backdoor. A good centering idea towards LaBoost, but Zenith reads it well. Noodle wants to get a shot away, but there's something you don't see there very often. He misplayed the wall completely, assuming he was not trying to miss that. Matt plays it instead towards the Zenith corner, looking vaguely for a cross, but wanted boost instead and missed the chance because of that. Noodle now in the air will attempt to get it down. J4 a necessary hit there, or that could have been trouble. However, bounces backdoor, and LaBoost on that bounce will finish it. And right now, it's 3-1 to Sammy 2 for sure. There's no doubt about that with a minute 24 left. However, I would say there have been a couple lucky bounces right now.
Yeah, that was a very fortunate bounce out into the corner. A nice pass for LaBoost, who now has a hat trick on the game. But Sammy 2 have done a good job to put Zenith in some hard situations, some awkward situations. In that instance, the Zenith defender was facing away from the ball. He wasn't able to get to it, and so Sammy 2 capitalized.
That is true. And the question of the series, of course, is can they hold on to the lead now? They're 2 up with a minute left. This has not happened yet in the series, really. LaBoost, good defense on Noodle along the wall, and also capitalizes getting there before J4 does. But his shot on goal is easily saved by Noodle, who will attempt to drive that down, but missed the tip that could have easily taken us to a 1-goal game. Instead, J4 will try to do something, not quite be able to. Noodle brings it back towards the center, where it is hit back towards Bailey the wall by Matt. Attempted tip on by Noodle, and outdueled in the end. J4 surprised him by coming on wall side instead. Noodle got the tip up. LaBoost, I'm not sure where he was going. I think he jumped for it and then realized his mistake, tried to pull out, but wasn't in time. 23 seconds remain, 1-goal game.
A 1-goal game, this is critical here. Sammy 2, if they want to keep their tournament hopes in good shape, they need to play smart here. They need to be up on their comms. Their communication needs to be great, but no. History repeats itself. Deja vu. It's now tied with 15 seconds left, and Zenith bring it back from a 2-goal deficit. Will we see overtime again, or will Zenith continue their comeback into a win?
That time it looked like both Sammy 2 boys got caught on the wall, and again, for the third straight time, the kickoff is pretty much sent straight back towards the Zenith player, and that has absolutely killed Sammy 2 a couple straight times now. But a miscommunication there, but no chance for Sammy 2 to get there, and overtime for the third straight game.
For this third straight game, if I was a betting man, which I'm not because that is very against the LTC,
LTC problems.
betting on Zenith for this win just because that is what history has shown. However, I know that the Sammy 2 boys can pull out a win. Let's see if they can do it here.
Oh my goodness. Nice dribbling efforts, I guess. Great clearance in the end. Noodle was set to do something, but he also ran out of boost. The boost, who had boost, will take it upside, play it to Matt, who sends it down and just over the net, and now the boost is going to have to scramble back to try to stop Noodle from firing it in. He does just enough. Matt decides not to play it, and Sammy 2 boys will get it out. Zenith both on the same side here, but we'll soon fix that. Here's a good chance, but knocked away well by a trailing boost. Noodle in the air, trying to work something out, but he's kind of off balance at this point. And misses the ball as well. A good chance now for the boost, who attempted to fake J4 out by not doing anything. It did not work though. J4 now along the wall dealing with the bouncing ball. Can't deal with it well. Matt wins that one easily. Noodle gets the solid play along the wall and looks for the chip. And will pull it off, but great save by LaBoost, taking the hit for the team. Can he get back up though? Matt is cleared out of the way. Oh wait, no, LaBoost was cleared out of the way. Matt makes the save. LaBoost is down, inside now, and Matt should have probably played that, did not. J4 and Noodle now on a fast break the other way, do not able to finish, and LaBoost now on a fast break the other direction, and the streak is broken. At long last. The Sammy 2 boys have managed to win an overtime game, 4-3, 141 into the third game of overtime, and now Zenith's series lead is cut in half, 2-1.
2-1. Sammy 2 won that critical game number 3. That was the fourth game these two teams have played against each other in a row that has gone to overtime. Sammy 2 finally were able to pull out the win. They capitalized on the mistake. They need to be able to take this momentum now and move forward in the tournament, maybe turn it around, maybe win a game in regulation. Who knows? But Zenith are not an easy team to beat. They have demonstrated that over and over again. They have the opportunity to take this tournament. They're still up in the series. We'll see how they respond to this loss and if they're able to bounce back.
I will say a noteworthy stat for this past game was that LaBoost had 4 goals, which certainly led his team to a win. And do you think he can continue in what is now a massive game 4?
It really does just boil down to stamina, but this game 4 is going to be very telling. LaBoost is a solid player. I'm actually his teammate on the Taylor Esports roster. I know he has it in him, but we'll see. I don't know if the combination of him and Matt at this late hour after so many games played, if they're able to pull it out. It's been a roller coaster so far. I could see it going either way. It really just comes down to how these teams perform in regulation.
We are underway, almost 20 seconds in, and surprisingly, no goals have been scored yet. And that almost changed right there as Matt fired a shot towards the net. Noodle trying to defend, and a good save there by J4 to prevent a good chance by Matt. J4 will now turn back in his own zone, turning on the ball about twice. Still keeps the ball somehow or other, where LaBoost finally decides to try to take it away from him. And LaBoost will now try to go forward. J4 again with a good play, hammered towards the Zenith goal by Matt, and Noodle will try to get it out of the Zenith corner.
We're seeing something unique here that we haven't seen before. S2S have been able to keep the ball in the Zenith half. They've had that good midfield rotation going. They've been able to get boost for the most part and keep, for the first minute, the ball in the Zenith half. That's good pressure. They just need to be able to capitalize on that. They have 2 shots right now. Zenith has 0 saves. They need to put those in the back of the net.
However, J4 here outdoing both of them in a 1v2 basically. The boost will do well, and Zenith has kind of lost their defenders, but now they are scampering back just in time. Noodle attempts to play it off the wall, but a funny hop causes him some trouble, and Matt also wants to cause him some grief. Good shot here from J4, just wide of the net, and he and Noodle will see if they can antagonize the Sammy 2 defense enough, but good hit here That's going to be really high and a interesting chance, really, but no one home for the Sammy Two boys.
Yeah,
Matt,
that was an interesting lull that we have not seen before. All the players kind of stopped for a second. Matt was getting ready to challenge the ball, but had to wait for it. An interesting lull indeed. I did see a little bit of hesitation, and I've noticed that in the overtimes as well. And at times when the games have been tied, the Sammy 2 guys
Here's a
do
chance.
not want to overcommit. They do not want to give up that goal and give up a chance at winning. But they have to exert themselves a little bit more if they want to take this series.
Two good saves there by the defense and a good shot there, but LeBoost will hold off Noodle from having any chance to as run out of boost himself. However, he's still fighting hard and will continue to keep the ball inside the Sammy 2 zone where J4 can finally get a crack at it. Noodle meanwhile gets back to get boost, comes back on the exact same side and keeps the ball in the exact same corner. The ball has now been in this Sammy 2 corner for some time, and Zenith will be hoping to capitalize on it. Matt with a nice play there to avoid anything, and he just misses, hitting the left side of the post. Unfortunately for him, the post did not give him a good break. J4 will follow the ball around near the corner, but another bad bounce on that one surprises him. The Boost gets a shot on goal, but two Zenith defenders are in the way to make sure nothing happens. J4 now drives the ball with a efforted pinch cross, I believe, but it skies to the other side of the arena, where Matt can pick it up and drive on the Zenith net. This is going to be a very interesting bounce. We'll see if Zenith deals with it. They do well. The Boost is going back to get boost and also defend at this point. But Matt basically stops J4 in his tracks as he attempts to continue his dribbling run. Noodle now firing into the 72 corner. That is cleared. We are down to 1 minute left, and we are in the middle of one of the strangest games between these two, mainly because there have been no goals yet.
Yeah, that is very unlike these two in a series. We're 45 seconds left with no goals. Both of them have been playing very solid Rocket League. These are the exciting games. I could see this going to overtime if nothing changes. That was a very good demo. That'll open up an opportunity for Zenith.
Excellent. But unfortunately, Noodle did not take advantage of it. I think because he had no boost at the time, and now with 25 seconds left, Zenith are still trying to charge the net, but they have not figured out anything. That is an awful touch, really, by LeBoost, but he got away with it. No one was home to punish him. J4 attempting to be in the center with 10 seconds left now. LeBoost brings the ball forward along the side, and a misplay there, and with 5 seconds left, Noodle will put it in the back of the net for the first goal of the game. 3 seconds remaining. And what did you see there?
Very, very good job. He recognizes that he has space. He also has boost. So he pops the ball up and follows it for a short little air dribble. Nice little carry. And into the net. It's like the last 15 seconds hit, and Zenith decide, all right, this is when we're going to score. This is when we start laying on the pressure, and they get a goal every time. I will comment, LeBoost seems to say, or he's been saying in chat, after that last goal that his game bugged out at the worst time. He's asking for a restart, so I think we will take a quick little break. I don't believe we'll go to an intermission, but we'll continue to talk about what we're seeing here. And as LeBoost starts or restarts his game.
There have been a lot of attacks and overtimes in this game. Each of these games in the series so far have been decided by one goal. And at some point, obviously, it comes down to who gets the one goal. I think either one of these teams could be up 3-1 right now in the series. It happens to be Zenith, who is holding off right now the Sammy Two boys. But I wouldn't be at all surprised at the same time to see a comeback.
I could definitely see a comeback as well. The Sammy Two boys are on match point right now. They are down 3-1 in the series. They need to win this game to keep their hopes alive. We'll see if this restart and this little intermission helps them at all. Helps them reset and reground.
Overall, it has been a thrilling tournament. We'd like to take this time once again to thank the Taylor University Admissions Office for their assistance in setting this up. Their help was invaluable in allowing both current students, future students, and even past alumni to participate in what has been an absolutely thrilling competition so far. And this grand final is certainly living up to expectations. But thank you very much to the TU Admissions Office for all that you do for Taylor University and specifically for this tournament.
For sure. Admissions has done a great job in helping spread the word about this event, both on their Instagram and then through emailing prospective students as well. We're very thankful for their support in this endeavor. Um, I do want to take a moment too to highlight the Taylor Esports Rocket League team. There might be a little bit of bias in this because I captain the roster. Rocket League is definitely a passion of mine, and I'm very thankful for a university that provides us with a platform to be able to play a game we love and represent them in a way that reflects Christ's love as well. But the Rocket League roster has recently undergone some changes. The starting roster consists of myself. It consists of Laboost, who we've highlighted here in this stream. It also consists of our new third G-Russ, who is hopefully going to make an impact on this week during this weekend's College Rocket League tournament that Taylor Esports will be playing in. You'll have to keep an eye out for news and announcements related to that as well.
Sounds like a great opportunity. I personally as good a Rocket League player to get on that team. Obviously, I kind of wish I were, but unfortunately, I enjoy spending 3,000 hours on math, not Rocket League. So,
hey, now that's a dig. I felt that. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely get out of it what you put into it, and that goes for just about anything. I've put way too much time into Rocket League. What can I say?
Well, you are the captain of the TU Rocket League team, and it is a great honor to be. Looking at the overall tournament, though, statistics-wise, we had over 20 teams compete in this tournament, and that is incredible to really be a part of. There are a lot of cool opportunities to come with so many things, really.
Yeah.
So many players, you get the variety, the skill levels, and it's all come together to make what I personally think has been a great tournament so far.
I completely agree. The response and the feedback that we've gotten so far from this event has been really encouraging. At Taylor Esports, we are a very new club on campus. We actually do not have official club recognition. We're in the process of working through that, so we'll be set up for that this next year. But we've really been encouraged by just the overall support, both with current students, with alumni, with the university, and in this tournament too, prospective students. It's been really overwhelming in a positive way, the response we've got. We don't just host Rocket League events either. We have a competitive Smash Ultimate team. We have a competitive Halo 5 team. We have a competitive Rocket League team, as we've said. And we're looking to branch into all esports as well. Join our Discord if you're interested. We are very open. We have game nights. We like to hang out and have fun. It looks like the players are back in the lobby. I don't know, Drew, did you see my message about the lobby information? It looks like you might have been removed from the party.
I don't know if I was removed from... Oh, was I supposed to stay in that party?
You're all good. You're all good. It
I'm
looks
sure
like this
that.
Next match is getting underway. The players went ahead and joined up. So as Drew gets back, I'll take over play-by-play for a hot minute while he gets into the match. Noodle throws the ball into the orange half. Matt goes off the backboard for a touch. He just missed, but Laboost is there to cover. J4 has an open net opportunity. He plays it slow. He goes high, looks for some bumps. It's off the backboard. He isn't quite able to put it in. Noodle with some more pressure. And Zenith are doing a great job at keeping the ball in the orange half, keeping it in the S2S half, laying on this early pressure. You can tell that they want this tournament. They want this last game. They want to be crowned champions.
Indeed. And Matt now will attempt to take it out out of his zone, but again, not quite able to make it. LeBoux still trying to make something aerial happen. J4 waiting for him near the goal to make sure nothing happens. Noodle will stop Matt's effort to play it around the side wall towards the back wall. And LeBoost will now have to get on his own back wall and clear it away from his own goal as Zenith continues to attempt to attack. Noodle there got up pretty high, but a double commit may cause some trouble. And they can just barely. LeBoost manages to find the side corner of the net on a very nice play there. He was facing his own net and managed to flip himself around and get a quick shot on net after the double play by Zenith.
That is a great demonstration of the half flip mechanic. He was able to turn his car around super quickly while boosting, and then a goal resulted from it. That is why it is important to practice those mechanics like half flips, like those wall reads, like double taps. Very important, and it could mean a game.
Indeed. Although we saw a little bit of miscommunication there between the members of Sammy 2, which almost cost them problems, but they got away with it in the end. And now they are back attacking Zenith's thing. Again, the Sammy 2 boys need this win. Good flick on there by, I believe, Matt, but he was not able to capitalize. The Sammy 2 boys need this win or Zenith will be crowned champions. Zenith obviously looking to close out the series in this Game 5.
They are indeed. This is match point for them. It is tournament point for them. For Zenith, it means a win. It means being crowned champions. And for S2S, it means if they lose this game, they are out, and they were that close to winning. They've done excellent so far, but excellent isn't good enough if you don't get the trophy. I'm sure they want the victory here.
Nice play by LeBoost there to deny an exit path, but unfortunately his teammate Matt was all the way back. However, Matt will out jump and now have a good opportunity with a nice centering pass, but LeBoost is nowhere to be found to tap into the open net. Noodle brings the ball out on the opposite flank and attempts to drive to use the wall to cause a slight bit of bounce so he can get the ball up in the air, but does not quite work out how he wants to. Ball around midfield. LeBoost, good shot here, and surprisingly, Noodle seems to be out of position, and LeBoost found the back of the net.
He did find the back of the net. I don't know what he did, why that computer reset works so well, but they're up 2-0 in the goal with less than half a game. Sorry, they're up 2-0 in the game with less than half a game to go. LeBoost has put 2 away. He's definitely a key player for this S2S squad.
Nice hit up there as well. J4 will scramble back to make sure that Sammy 2 boys don't have any opportunity. And Noodle also blew up LeBoost, causing a little bit of grief for the Sammy 2 boys, but Matt makes sure that the grief does not turn into a goal. And a nice shot here from Matt. Good save by J4, holding off that top corner and not allowing Sammy 2 to have a good opportunity. LeBoost facing his own goal will have to scramble back and again make sure that Zenith cannot attack. And now he has a chance to attack, but unfortunately he's out of boost and will not be able to do anything with that. J4 now has the ball looking to dribble it with a very nice high hit. Matt gets it out off the wall and will actually get it back now after a slight rebound. However, he loses out on boost to Noodle and will pretty much just be able to antagonize the team if that's it. J4 was going for a ground pinch, almost pulled it off, but it's back towards the net now, and 2 misses mean that J4, in a very odd manner, ends up scoring a goal.
J4 with a very good read and sacrificing his car as well. 2 misses, an open net. A very precarious situation. A minute left. If Sammy 2 wants to stay in this tournament, they need to play their hearts out during this minute. They need to leave it all on the field.
And as we know, Zenith has a habit of finding those late goals. One might be coming here, in fact. J4 tries to send the ball, but Matt clears it out at the last possible second and takes it off the wall hard back towards the Zenith net. Noodle will chip it up and go get it again. Another, nice aerial play by that, but read well by LeBoost, who tries to read it again. Does not quite pull it off completely. J4 tries to pressure back into Sammy 2 end, 30 seconds remaining now. LeBoost fires it towards the net, just missing on the right side. Matt tries to flip it back, but he should probably be thinking of getting back and defending at this point. J4 sends it flying towards the corner of the net. Matt off, just barely off the ceiling, and that helps the boost to get to it. If that came harder off the ceiling, who knows what might have happened. Matt has a chance to ice the game here and put it into the corner. He does not, but he'll play it into his own corner. And is there still an opportunity? Not quite. Very close to being another late goal for Zenith to send it to OT. But Sammy 2 holds them off, and the game is now 3-2 in the series after a 2-1 victory.
That's right. Sammy 2 push the series to a game 6. Their tournament hopes stay alive. The Sammy 2 roster is made up of 2 Champ 2 players, and they're, in a way, the underdogs because they're playing against a Zenith roster that consists of 2 Champion 3 players. For those of you that aren't familiar with the ranking system within Rocket League, Champion 3 is the second highest rank you can have, while Champion 2 is the third highest rank. So these guys are the top of the ranked ladder. They're doing well, and it's really it's kind of impressive that Sammy 2 are able to play at this level, quite honestly, because there is quite a skill gap. I think fatigue is playing a role on both teams. There have been some critical mistouches, but
Indeed.
This is still Zenith's series to win. They have it in the bag. Oftentimes, I've found in competing, closing out that last game in a series is the hardest. It's the hardest thing to do. That last game is the hardest to win. And Zenith are in that position right now. Sammy 2 have taken another game off them. They still have the series win, and this is game 6.
Game 6 is now underway. 5 minutes to go, obviously, until either a winner, a game 7, or an overtime, depending on what happens. J4, very nice looking shot here. Good save by Laboost to hold him off and make sure nothing too bad happened. Yugo again, another aerial opportunity. And some early acrobatics here, causing some grief for both teams, really, as J4 puts it towards his own net. But both teams coming out looking fairly strong offhand, although I would say Zenith with a possible lead helper Laboost, very well done to chip that, and he will get an early goal for his team.
Laboost does a great job. Another half flip there. It's the second time he's done that, the second game in a row. He gets back, realizes that it's an open net, and then puts one home for his team.
I know that half flip is a move that I've personally wanted to master for a while, but not been able to. It is a very difficult skill, but as you can see in this game, very important. Noodle blasted off the wall. I don't think that would have been his intention. I think a direct shot on goal would have been better. Nice shot, though, by J4, but just misses over the net, and Laboost manages to clear it. Noodle, there's perhaps tiredness playing a role. I think mishits it slightly on a missed timing play. J4 gets back up, though, and drives it back into the Sammy 2 corner, centered to Noodle, who puts it over the net, and J4 will get it back off the crossbar, and that's over Noodle's head, and Laboost has a 2-goal lead now. After Zenith pressures and has several good opportunities at one end, they are punished by their missed chances on the other. 2-0 to Sammy 2 boys, just over a minute in the game.
That's 2 counterattacks and 2 open nets for Sammy 2 and Laboost. He's able to capitalize, and it sounds like, according to the game chat, he's having computer issues during this game too. He's playing through it, and he's still been able to score 2 goals.
J4 looking for a very nice dribble move here, but he wasn't quite set up correctly. Noodle will fire it along the wall, sent outside again. J4 hoping for a tip, and he would have gotten it as well. That top of the ceiling shot would have ended up dropping right in front of the Sammy 2 goal, but it was not to be. Another nice play by the Zenith boys to keep it the ball as close to the other goal as possible. And they will now send it back towards the Sammy 2 goal. We get down to about 3 minutes left, and an early lead here, 2-0. Thoughts?
Yeah, Zenith is doing an excellent job at keeping pressure in the Sammy 2 half. They're doing good with boost starving and bumping and just keeping the ball in the Sammy half, but they have not been able to put it away yet. They have 3 shots on net, but no goals to show for it. So long as they keep pressure, I believe they will be able to crack the Sammy 2 defense.
Couple nice pinches there by Sammy 2, and a brilliant dribble. LeBoost trying to get back will not make it in time, and J4 has cut the lead in half, 2-1. Sammy 2 still leads, but we are halfway through the match now.
That was a
done.
very interesting flick for J4. He flicked, or he flipped his ball away from the net, but was just able to get enough of the ball, get enough contact with the ball to be able to put pace on that to get it past the Sammy defense. And now they're back in this game with 2.5 minutes left.
Once again, J4 trying to annoy, antagonize, and do a lot of work himself up front, which is good because then Noodle can, number one, stay back, and number two, just come forward and tap the ball into an open net like possible. But Matt and LeBoost have been fairly good as well with shutting down that one-man attack when possible. Noodle here plays the ball off the sidewall. Nice out there by, I'm not sure which one it was, so we'll just go with the defense, pretty much. J4 again off the wall, tries to get that pinch, got the pinch, and LeBoost misses it, and Noodle has tied it with about 44 left. Very nice play by J4, though, to start that sequence.
Very good play as well, and a nice slow roller into the back of the net, and the Sammy 2's lead has been cut down to 0. It is now anyone's game with 1:44 left.
I've also noticed that the Zenith boys have been continually avoiding the hit on the kickoff play for that one. Although nice play by LeBoost here to turn it, and he had a good chance, but shut down quickly by Noodle. Matt will go up top trying to pinch it and gets a perfect bounce. Noodle almost puts it in his own net. However, once again, LeBoost is not there. And you have to wonder now if these missed chances will cost Sammy 2 perhaps a shot at a title. Good save by Matt. That would have made it a 3-2 game with a minute to go. Ball comes around, and an incredible defensive play only keeps a tie game in the end. LeBoost up top almost puts it in the net again as Noodle was kind of stuck to the floor for some reason. LeBoost another good shot, and Matt just misses the far left post in the end.
I'm curious with this last minute left to see how much of S2S's gameplay changes, whether they start playing more aggressive like we're seeing here, or if they start playing a bit more passive because they're afraid of giving up that goal and ending their tournament run.
Right now it certainly looks like Sammy 2 are attacking hard, but 25 seconds left. J4 is going to try to chip them both. LeBoost does well, but Noodle is left open, and J4 puts it back in the corner. Noodle will try to send it in the center. One or both of them will go for it, and nice play off the crossbar. And 3-2, and Sammy 2 now have 12 seconds left to save their season. Zenith, another late goal.
That was a beautiful play. The S2S defense expected him to go for the shot right away, but he didn't. He placed it off the backboard, followed the ball, and puts his team in a position to win the tournament with 10 seconds left. They're up by 1 goal. Can they do it?
And now we will get down to, is there an aerial game? And there is not.
That
Zenith
is it.
Zenith is your tournament champions. The number 1 seed has proven themselves to be the number 1 seed, winning 4-2 in the best of 7 match. Congratulations to Zenith and to all participants, obviously, in the tournament.
That was an excellent series to watch. Congratulations to Zenith indeed. These prospective students came out and they took it to the old guard. They proved that they were the better team tonight and put on a show for us. That was some very exciting Rocket League action. Zenith come away with this tournament victory and are crowned champions.
And I certainly think the future of the TU Rocket League team looks very good with good players like this coming up through the ranks, preparing to take the next steps to become a part of the TU Esports Rocket League team.
I would also like to point out these guys, there are no hard feelings, it looks like, in chat. They're talking back and forth. They're saying, well played, really fun matches, tough stuff, wonderful. that's encouraging to see. The future of Taylor Rocket League is in good hands, and it is very exciting. We'd like to just, again, take this time to thank you guys for sticking with us into this very, very late night. We did not anticipate the tournament to go this late, but we're very thankful for those of you that have stuck around and watched the stream. We're thankful for the players who played. And we are very thankful, too, for our broadcasting crew. I want to thank Gabe, who's behind the scenes running the stream. It is way past his bedtime, but he's stuck it out and has done an excellent job with production. I want to thank Drew as well for doing play-by-play for most of the stream, and Stuart as well for coming in for commentary. And we hope that his internet gets fixed up a little bit.
Indeed. And once again, thank you all for watching. For my co-host Mateo, I am Drew Anderson, and saying pretty much good night. And thank you all again for coming out.